Hello. Hey guys on the call. We're live. We're on the air.
All right.
Get
Hello.
it. Go team.
Hi everyone.
Go team.
We're playing Tomb of Annihilation on the internet with you. And I'm Outro. This is the cast. We will all introduce ourselves and do such. And also, I'm nervous as heck. Bear with me. I don't want to, drag on too long with the intro because we're only running a 3-hour session each time. But I do want everybody to get acquainted with everyone. So I'm Outro. You may know me from, I don't know, I moderate the Farverona Discord server and just generally hang out on the internet. Work in a bunch of other streams. And other than that, just play video games and tabletop. And then I'll pass it on to whoever.
Don't know which order we're going. We should have talked about this sooner. I'll go
Kel,
next.
it looks like Kels is ready.
Okay, Kelsey.
Sure. Hey, I'm Kelsa. If I was looking at the screen, I could know what way we're going around. But hello, I'm Kelsa, and I play role-playing games on the internet. Here, obviously, but also on my own channel and other places as well. And I'm looking forward to probably dying horribly. Um, I think that's how it goes. I'm pretty sure. So I'm looking forward to that.
All right, so I think I'm next. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and everybody in between, I am Reese Dragon. I just recently started a Twitch channel. I stream all kinds of video games. I'm very bad at magic, so come yell at me. I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons and role-playing games for probably about 23 years now. And this is my first time on stream, so I look forward to dying horribly with Kelsey.
I broke the overlay, it seems, so the bottom. I'm sorry, Saint Guard. I'm sorry, Chris, but your hashtags are cut off. It's killing me.
Oh no.
Horrible.
Oh,
Rip us.
But with that
Gone.
said, Saint Guard.
Hi,
your little spiel.
everyone. My name is Saint Guard. I'm a variety streamer and sometime GM of tabletop role-playing games. You can go and find me at twitch.tv/Saint Guard. I also do a little bit of VO work. And like Outro, I do Far Verona things. But more importantly, I'm here to probably get totally and utterly annihilated in some sort of tomb. We'll see.
Let's hope that doesn't start today, though.
Let's hope.
All right. And last but certainly not least, Rindus, let's get your spiel.
Hey guys, I'm Rindus PWG of Party Wife Gaming. I've had this Twitter game going on for about a year now, and I'm super excited to be here because Outro approached me and was like, "Hey, tell me D&D stuff," and I was like, "Sure, I'll help you make this awesome overlay that you're seeing." And he took it and made it above and beyond what I ever did. And you're going to have to forgive me because I'm at work for like the next month of this, and you'll be hearing all the awesome work sounds. So bear with me.
It'll get better. He got good news today. We're all happy, and
It'll get better. I have a new job coming in a month, and I can actually play from home where I have lighting and proper sound, and it'll be awesome.
Hooray for new
Awesome.
job.
so with all the introductions and stuff out of the way, I guess I want to give like a quick preference. We're going to play this game. It is a module, Tomb of Annihilation, published by Wizards of the Coast. It's Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. There's going to be some differences. There's going to be a lot of similarities. First and foremost, we're going to kind of skip the normal introduction that you would see for this game because I feel it's kind of boring. And also, there's certain rules within the game itself that make it seem like the end goal is impossible. So we're going to kind of like jump right in. In this situation, we're pulling into the harbor on a boat. Two of the people on said boat are natives to Chult. They are Portneans are natives, and the other two are not. So we'll get a little bit of information before we get off the boat. I guess whoever would like to describe their character first could go ahead and do so. I guess let's start with the natives first.
Sure. I'll go first again. My character is a tabaxi, and she is wearing some brightly colored clothing. It's fairly loose and fairly simple. Um, and she has a full pack sitting next to her. Uh, she looks very uh, entranced, um, writing in a little black book, but nothing is actually showing up on any of the pages. She's not paying any attention to the scenery and seems to be very into whatever she's writing, even though she's the only one that can see it.
So I guess I am up next. My character's name is Shadow of a Star. I am also a tabaxi. I am kind of half keeping an eye on Waxy. I am a black tabaxi, little red around the eyes. I am in leather armor and walking around bothering everyone.
Oh, I forgot to mention, my coloration is kind of beigeish, like a caracal. I have ear tufts.
Yes.
It's very
ear tufts.
important.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say. So, what are you guys doing? Like, you're pulling up. They're like setting down to like let everybody off the boat. It hasn't quite got to the point where you guys can get onto the port yet. So, you guys are just walking around bothering, and you're peering. I'm sorry.
I'm like waiting for them to for us to be able to exit. I've got all of my stuff together, and I'm probably like squatting down, like next to the gunwale, just out of the way, while I'm writing in my little book.
Shadow's just walking around looking for anybody that looks rich.
you just gold digging. Okay, got
That's
it.
right.
All right, so I guess we shall move on to our friends who are coming to Chult for the first time. Port Nyanzaru. Ooh, it is overwhelming, but let's get a description of you, and then I'll give you a description of it.
Sounds good. I guess I will start. I'm playing Yina, who's better known as, by her stage name, Blossom of Wind. She's an Air Genasi. She's currently, she's fairly short for an Air Genasi. She has light blue skin, kind of like a frosty morning, and blue hair that goes down to past her shoulders. And she's currently kind of wearing a very flowy a very flowy dress. Looks a little bit out of place here. And she's sitting on a barrel tuning a guitar.
Ooh, very nice. So I'm taking it she is a performer of sorts, which has multiple talents.
Yes, she is a dancer of sorts. She's actually wearing her dancing heels right now.
Ooh, very nice. Now, while you were on the trip, I mean, I'm not positive. I didn't do the research as to how long it takes to get to the Chulton Harbor from, like, I don't know, Baldur's Gate or one of the other major cities. But would you have been performing on the boat, or would you have just been kind
of? Probably a few performances, but like most of the time it's practicing and getting to know people on the boat.
Okay.
There was probably one before there was a performance of some sort before we came to the harbor.
like the major networking opportunities?
Mm-hmm. Just like,
Gotcha.
hey, come see the Blossom of Wind do her thing.
Cool. And once again, Rindis, you'll be first next time, I promise.
Oh no, don't worry about it. At least for a little while, I don't mind being on the back burner. So I'm playing Truffles. I am playing a halfling druid. She actually is a little weird for halflings, which is part of the reason why she's on her way to Nyanzaru anyways. She has long, overgrown white hair and a more bluish complexion to her skin, and it's speckled with purple splotches. And she's taken a liking to all things fungi. She likes fun guys, haha. But she's has a very lazy nature, which would probably be very normal for a halfling.
You're a
She's
loft.
very slow moving, slow to. What's that?
A loft.
Yeah. Um, she's very slow to excitement, slow to action, very slow and steady. She could have been a turtle in another life.
Nice. So this is actually a interesting question that I thought of as soon as you brought up the interest in fungi. How about like barnacles and stuff, which are like they're not fungus by any means, but they kind of have a similar purpose, but in water? Would that be like something that you would have like looked at and been like, "Huh, this is interesting," or would it have even mattered at all? Or
She probably would have had a fascination with it. She hasn't really gone to the ocean until she got aboard this boat for the first time, and so when she realized that there were barnacles attached to the sides of the boat when they were sailing, she probably spent an unusual amount of time studying them.
cool, awesome. So for Waxy and Shadow, this is the typical for you. I don't know how often you go away from Chult, which you may inform us later. But in coming back, you're seeing the city as you normally would, but to Yena and Truffle, this is quite grand. And being the basic that I am, I'm going to read this directly from the book. You appear in a tropical city under the blazing sun. The familiar sounds of a harbor, creaking rope, slapping waves, heavy barrels rolling across cobblestone, mingle with voices shouting and cursing in an unfamiliar language filled with clicks, inhalations, and sing-songy words that make it sound almost musical. The aroma of unfamiliar spices and tropical fruits mixes with the wharf-side smells of fish, tar, and canvas. Beyond all that, Port Nianzaro is an explosion of color. Buildings are painted in bright shades of blue, green, orange, and salmon pink. Or their walls are adorned with murals portraying great reptiles and mythical heroes. Every building sports baskets and clay urns of colorful flowers or is draped in a leafy, flowery vines. Minstrels in bright clothing adorned with feathers and shells perform on street corners. Multicolored pendants and sun awnings flutter atop the city walls. A crowd of children dressed in feathered hats and capes race past the boat, squealing in delighted terror as a street performer costumed as a big-toothed lizard stomps and roars behind them. The whole city seems to be bustling, sweating, laughing, swearing, and singing. So it's a happening place that you guys are about to step off a boat into.
Waxy Dean, pay attention. We have to go.
It's
And-
not time yet.
As if on cue, as soon as you say that, like it drops, everybody's allowed off the boat. It's deemed safe. It's anchored down. Everything's good to go.
Oh, in that case, as soon as it becomes safe, like without actually saying anything, I'll just pick up my stuff and leave.
You'll just, without saying anything or whatever, you'll
Yeah.
just be like, okay, bye.
I just get off the boat and start going towards an area, kind of like snap shut my book.
I just kind of look around. I'm like, it's just like trail off following her.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So actually, I'm sorry. We should have did this while doing the character introduction. So all of you guys are already in some form of colleagueness. Like you're working together towards a similar goal. We had discussed that's part of the reason why you guys were on the boat and not already there. Ultimately, right now, you're going to do some archaeology. While this is the Tomb of Annihilation setting, and that's the campaign we're running, that's not what we're here for at the moment. So, Yena, you haven't exactly came up with a reason you may want to have joined this party, but upon seeing these flowery dancing people and seeing the activity of the city, you may just be here to take in some of the cultural inspiration.
Definitely.
Um,
Definitely.
Now, Rindis, you had explained why Truffle is interested in coming here. I don't know whether you want to explain that or whether you want to keep that on the side or whether it's just a word that I don't know how to say and I don't want to say it because I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, Truffles is, like I said, interested in all things myconid and spore mushroom based. And when she found out about the existence of tribes of vegapygmies within Scholt, it's largely why she booked her passage. So she wants to study and possibly learn from the vegapygmies to better her own fascination with mushrooms.
Great. Okay, so with that said, Waxy and Shadow, while you guys are natives, you wouldn't bring Yena and Truffle to your home, but you are familiar with a couple different places. There's a location called the Thundering Lizard, which you consider to be a little bit more ruckusy, a wild bar of a tavern. And then there are other locations like Kaya's House of Repose, which is like a more, I don't know, for the snooty people to have a glass of wine next to a fireplace and then have a good night's rest while taking in the cultures. In doing so, you did just get back from a long. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was like, there's the really like terrible place and then the really ritzy place. That's it.
There are other places that we can come up with in between, but these are just two that kind of come to mind in explaining for for directional purposes, if you will.
The ritzy place has money. That sounds good.
The ritzy place has money. Along with that,
the ritzy place costs money, brother.
I mean, it's not our money if we don't spend our money.
As I had explained with all of the fanfare that is going on, there's people in the harbor area that look as if they are there with the express purpose of introducing people to the city and showing them around and giving them tours. So if there was something that you were interested in, I can go along and give you details like known places of the city. Obviously, there are dinosaur races that happen weekly. There's gladiatorial combat that occurs, which I do not have exactly when or where or how about that goes on, but that is also an option within the city. It has all of there's a merchant district, there's a residential district, there's I wouldn't say slums, but there's the lower end and closer to the walls. You get the more, shadowy and thievery and nonsensory that occurs. So, as any city, there's points of interest. If there's anything specifically that would like to pique your interest, as you came in, you will note that. Give me 1 second. Easier for me to look this up here. I just want to make sure I get a name right. But when you did pull up in the, I guess I should pull this screen up. Boop, boop, boop. I don't know if the players are watching my screen or not. They're watching the Twitch or not. But
we're not.
Where it had been pulled up at was this point here. Number... I'm still learning Roll20, by the way, audience, so bear with me.
Me too.
All right. DM work, yeah. So, with what I had just said, while I'm looking into these things, is there anything that sticks out to any of you guys, either, native or new, that you guys are looking to direct yourselves towards?
Things first, I would have to grab Waxy before she just like runs off by herself because she would just ignore everybody else. And I'm like, Waxy, we need to wait for the others, remember?
Right, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Yina has like she's just like, oh, we're here. She stops tuning the guitar, slings it on her back, and follows her tabaxi companions because she doesn't know this city, and she knows better than just wander off into this city without anyone else. Because it's a city. Why would you just wander off?
Yeah, no wandering off into the city.
I imagine Truffles would be right behind Nina, probably very slow and lazily looking around and admiring everything. Probably fixing a little too long on like a single seagull that's squawking and flying by, but doing her best to keep up at her slower pace.
That seagull is unusual compared to the ones that you have seen. I don't know how, but it is unusual. So with that, I guess the direction is up to you guys. There is a lot to do within the city, and it's a matter of whether you want to, catch some respite after, your long voyage at sea. We're going to call it X days at sea, or whether you want to go out and, take in your surroundings, whether you're excited or whether you're like, okay, let's get our rest on. We have a big journey ahead of us. So that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out to present the next step for you guys.
Ina, Truffles, I will leave that up to you. You let me know what you would like to do.
Well, you're the natives here. I think we see whatever. I mean, I'm
Would you like some kind of excitement? Would you like to go find an inn to catch a respite?
please. I create my own excitement. I would like to just maybe we can. I mean, there are many people here. Tour guides. You just take us around. Maybe I don't know.
Okay. So I guess I will continue to leash Waxy and start walking to some kind of major points around the city and showing everybody around.
She follows quietly, but her tail is just twitching.
Just like a metronome.
Right at the tip.
Hear the click clack of Yina's heels as they walk through the city.
I'm like, and this is the dinosaur race? Yeah.
What? I'm sorry. You said dinosaur? What's a dinosaur?
Really big lizard bird things.
Really? This sounds like we should check
Lots
this
of
out.
people. It's fine.
Oh, they race every day. It's not.
Like,
Wait,
as
lizard-
you guys begin talking about that, like, there's a couple, like, I don't have. Give me 1 second. I guess I could pull this up because I have the way to do that. So like a couple of like
is it a lizard or is it a
Ankylosaurus
bird?
walk by with carts strapped to their back, and they're just walking by carrying things. These are dinosaurs. You got Ankylosauruses doing beast of burden work all over the place.
Look, it's not that exciting.
I would be pretty
Pretty
freaking
copyrighted
fascinated.
Jurassic Park music here, you know.
Yeah, Truffles is wide-eyed. They are saucers, and she's like, "Are you sure? They look." And wait, so are they like a mix of lizard and dinosaur? How does that work? I know they both lay eggs, but
I would say they're more of a mix of birds and lizards in some respects.
I don't. These are amazing. Why are these not in other places?
why are you not more excited about this? Look at them; they're amazing.
I guess we just see this all the time.
I'm not a biologist.
I will listen to the natives on this, but this is truly amazing. Truly. I don't know what to say, but important thing. She snaps her fingers and like any dust that was on her just gets blown off. Just like I do need to keep myself a little bit clean, and I don't know how these creatures are, so just keep that in mind.
Excellent. So you guys saw the creatures. I was working with a technical glitch. We had some echoey stuff going on there. Yay, really good at first time experience. But So, I just lost my train of thought. Ba 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 ba. What are you guys doing now that we had seen the dinosaurs and that scene had just occurred?
Like I said, I'm kind of giving them the tour around the city. So pointing out relevant points besides just the two inns. So I did take them to the dinosaur races apparently, and I was just showing them other random like interesting things around the city.
So do you in the handouts? I know that I gave you a like blank map of Cholt. Did you get the map of Portney and Zaru by any chance? Actually, that should be where you guys are looking at by default. I think.
I can see it on the stream.
Yeah, we're just on the big overhead.
Yeah.
So
did we start in the south part or did we start in the like port, like bay part?
We're starting up. I wouldn't call it north. I'm trying to get this token to stop being transparent. But so you know how there's that what appears to be a lighthouse? Underneath of that there's that like little beachy area. That's where you guys landed in, so you're in that harbor area.
Could you
So you land not inside of the chain, but outside of the chain at 13. Well, I guess you can't see the token number. Damn it.
Yeah, we can't see the 13, but if you are able to select the token and right-click it, you can change the layer. Where
that pinging is going off is where you guys started. So, like, if you're doing a tour, you would start there and kind of go through the merchant's ward. You would see all the things for sale. You'd see tabaxi minstrels doing performances, different dances that, may not be very common to your eyes. You may be interested in, like, reviewing how they do their things, but, there's merchants, all of them yelling, trying to sell you different things, weapons, drink, food, livestock, you name it. There's merchants trying to sell you stuff.
I would probably get us some like very strong kind of liquor that's from like indigenous that they might not have tried before.
I actually have a name for this. I just need to pull that up real quick.
I feel like it'd be named something super cool like Firewater or something.
It's actually really a quite simple name. It's no, this is all only people. Dang it. Where is it? I just had it too. Oh, here we go. So there's something called Tej, which is an amber-colored fermented drink made from honey. It's more common and popular than beer or ale, but that's the beer or ale of Cholt.
Sounds like a plan. So I will get some Tej for Waxy and our other two companions.
Now, while you're it would be 4 copper pieces per mug, and they do sell it on the street. You wouldn't have to be sitting at a bar or anything like that. But while you're doing so, you do make a statement saying that yes, this particular product is controlled by the merchant prince Quaothe. God, I ruined that. Quaothe, who is like the merchant prince of fruits, wines, oils, perfumes, and insect repellent. So that's a little bit of lore that you would throw to your companions that are from off the island.
The insect repellent is especially important in that repertoire.
When the mosquitoes are the size of people, it's very important.
It's very, very important.
Yeah, very important. Well, look, obviously we're gonna drink while we get a tour of the city. It's the best combination.
I mean, it's probably a pretty good idea. So you're just you walk through. So if you're going like, I guess east to west. You go through the merchant's quarter. I need to close this. And then there's like a bridge because the merchant quarter itself is walled in. There's like a bridge that brings you into the gladiators Coliseum, which currently it's closed. There's no events going on, but you'll see that there's the Coliseum itself. Otherwise, if you leave out going north, you'll see just assorted buildings, residences. There's other smaller shops of like odds and ends here and there. Plenty of people like everywhere. Like it's a very busy place. It's the middle of the day, so it's business hours. Everybody is either moving stuff or selling stuff or cleaning stuff or building stuff. So you got people you can interact with, you got places you can go. The Coliseum, while I don't know if that's what it's called, I need to look that up in the book real quick, is currently closed. The dinosaur races happen once a week, and unfortunately it is not today.
I am sad there are no dinosaur races.
I'm sure you'll catch them. And sorry, I was like about to answer as a player. Whoops.
That's totally fine. I'm sure we'll see it sometime. It's so good. I think we're definitely getting a good view of this place. But hey, you are the experts, so.
Gina, Truffle, do you like the tench?
Oh, the tench is good. It's very good. I'm a fan. Truffle? Just like looks down.
Yeah, it's very good. I'm enjoying it, and she's like slow drink. Very good.
What kind of looks are we getting as we're like just going down the streets? Because I know Tapaxi probably won't, but
honestly, you really aren't. People are busy. You know, like maybe some of the kids will like start like, I don't know, like pointing and laughing, and like maybe a person will look over their shoulder and say, "Huh?" But like it seems that like visitors aren't common, but they aren't so uncommon that it's like, hey, this is weird. Why is this type of person here? You know, you obviously don't fit in. Your clothes do not match the culture. You are sticking out, but people aren't making a stink about it.
Cool. These are cool people. I like this. Kind of looks around just like all the people. She's like, how about we head to what was it? The Thundering Lizard? Was that the one we were talking about?
There are two. Would you like to get drinks for us, or would you like to find a wealthy patron to potentially get to fund the expedition?
I'm usually the type that's for drinks for us. Also, of course, a place I can perform, but that's just a more overall thing.
So I think the Thundering Lizard it is.
Excellent.
Okay, so
It seems
So
more
I'll
within our
help us
price
out.
range.
Yeah, that place is loud.
It's fine. You will sit in the corner like you know.
I do like the corner behind the bar. That's true. It's my favorite corner.
Look, as loud as it may be, that's fine by me.
Okay, so oops, that's the wrong button. Why is that not pinging? Why am I not?
Is there actually a battle map for this inn? Tavern battle map already. Just
No,
bar fight first thing
I'm
happens.
just trying to tell you where you need to go to get there, but it's not.
Oh,
letting
okay.
me. Okay, hold on. So, hi, we're back to the video call for a second. Why the heck is this not happening? Boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo. Drinks while. Well, that sounds like a Tabaxi name. Like, it really does. All right, real quick. What buttons do I press to ping? Location. Why is it not? There we go. It wasn't working for me. Like, I was holding it. I was like, wait, did they change it? Do I have to hold shift? But, all right. That's where we need to go, guys. So this is towards the south. So you do like almost a full tour of Chult. Like, you get a little bit of everything. You walk through, you see the proper harbor, the inner harbor, which is actually. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Yeah, it'll take quite a bit, especially with how busy everything is. It won't be quite twilight, but it'll be getting towards twilight. But like the proper harbor, you'll see. You actually see the chain going across to close out the harbor, because it was open and now it's like closing as you guys are getting past a certain point to close it up for the night. And you make your way down. This part of town isn't like necessarily a bad neighborhood, but it's a mix. You got a bit of everything going on here. There are gates that lead out into the jungle nearby, so like there's a little bit more guard presence than when you were up in the northern part near the Merchant Ward. The Merchant Ward, there was guard presence, but it seemed more that it was like private mercenary than like these people are here to guard the people. It was more like these people are here to guard people from stealing our stuff. I'm not gonna answer that. Oh no, do you mean like presents? None. You don't get presents. Get out of here. Hold on a second. I'm pretty. Oh, that's why. All right. Sorry about that. So I think I've realized what the audio issue is, and shouldn't be a problem going forward. But
Huzzah!
Did it.
now,
We did it, folks.
now we should be good. On both
Okay.
screens, because the echo was occurring when we were on the Roll20 screen and on the video call screen. Because I muted the thing that was causing the echo on the Roll20 screen, it muted it out here. So I think we just had a conversation that nobody heard.
Oh.
Oh.
Bumpy
Sorry,
starts.
everyone.
Welcome to the first episode of Tomb of Annihilation here on Outro 1.
Yeah. Apparently, we've been
Really?
told that this part of the
Later
city
on,
had.
when we're famous, we'll just cut it in and put it in the outtakes. It's fine.
Yeah,
It's
it's
fine.
totally fine.
It's fine.
Look, in this part of the city, there are a lot of
Yeah,
cops.
end of season outtake.
Fine.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we arrive. So you decided upon the Thundering Lizard, correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do. So, upon getting to the Thundering Lizard, what are you guys doing? Are you just sitting down, having a drink? Are you chatting up the locals? Are you, like, calling it a
So
night?
I
Are
would
you-
definitely like pull up to like our normal table, and Waxy will take her place at the corner part of the bar that she likes. And I assume we'll ask for some kind of food.
You ask for food?
Yeah, like I'll order truffle and something that's like mild but like still interesting for the region.
Is there
Cool.
is there anyone performing right now?
In the bar currently, no. It's like not peak hour. You come in, it's not empty or desolate by any means, but it's like you get in right before people start coming in, I guess would be the best explanation. There's obviously going to be that shifty person in the corner digging at the table with their knife that's in every single thing ever made. And then a few people at
That's
the
not our
bar
tabaxi.
talking, and people working.
Yeah, it's
polishing
probably
glasses.
me, but it's fine.
Important question then. Are there any dinosaurs inside or like near the entrance of the Thundering Lizard?
So near the entrance, yeah, there would be like, I guess I can't say. So they're pretty much the beast of burden. Anytime a cart needs to be pulled, anytime something needs to be lifted or hoisted, like instead of having a group of people pulling on a pulley, like they'll have a dinosaur do it. So like if you think about it, yeah, somewhere if there's like a dinosaur do you need a dinosaur? I can get you a dinosaur. If you're trying to have a
What's
situation
the-
with a dinosaur.
What's the cutest looking dinosaur that's around the entrance of the Thundering Lizard?
The cutest looking dinosaur that's around the entrance of
Yes.
the Thundering.
This is very important to Truffles.
The cutest looking dinosaur that's around the entrance of the Thundering. So cute, well, cute is also subjective, so that depends on Truffle's idea of cute. Because, like,
This is
I
this
don't
is
know.
why it's important.
Some people think lampreys are cute. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'll Truffles will approach. It really ultimately doesn't matter, but she's going to approach and she's going to cast Speak with Animals, and she's going to just walk up to it and be like, "Hello, I was told you're a dinosaur. I don't know what that is. Maybe you could help."
So, I guess. I'm trying to think as to what type of dino, because I was still looking for what we got going on here.
I vote Ankylosaurus.
Yeah, so it'll be an Ankylo again. So that that's just it's a name. It's what people call things like me. I move stuff.
Oh,
They feed
what
me.
you
You
move
have
stuff?
food?
Wow. What do you prefer? I have this, and she'll hold out like a non-poisonous red cap.
And you like hold it out in your hand,
Yeah,
and you just like hand it to as if to eat
I
it.
just offer it to him. It'd be just non-poisonous. So it's like, I've got this. Do you eat these?
What's your armor class?
16.
Oh damn!
All right, let's do it. Oh no!
Wait, that's you can't do that. Okay. No, I'm just it's not like intentionally biting you, but you're gonna catch a bite on your hand. Like it's going to go for the
It's-
red cap and catch your hand. A little
Okay,
bit. So I'll roll like a
that's fine.
D3.
Yeah.
All right, so you
just
take one
point.
damage.
Yeah.
You take one damage giving this thing.
Okay.
It says, oh, it like tastes your blood, and it's like it's not an omnivore. It specifically only eats vegetation. So it's like it tastes it, and it's like, I didn't mean you. You should have
Oh.
moved. Like,
That's yeah. I'm a bit slow on the reaction, but it's okay. It is. What do they call you specifically?
Anki.
Anki. Okay, Anki. I'll be sure to remember that, and to not put my fingers in front of Anki mouths. That's fine.
Yeah, they're kind of like beak-like almost. They're like
Waxy.
giant, weird
Missing
beak.
all the good stuff.
but-
Stop looking at the book. The outsiders are getting eaten by dinosaurs.
They are doing what? Don't they know better to?
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. One hit point of damage is
Does
kind
she
of
know
serious
better?
at level 1. Like your hand is pretty busted up.
Yeah, I've got 10 HP. It's fine.
We'll
it's,
be
it's
alright.
only a tenth of my health.
Okay, so you
She's
make
got,
a
she's
little
got
bit
a
of
decent con. She'll
Anki will remember this. But
I've suddenly become omnivorous. This halfling was delicious.
Vampire
flavor.
Ankylosaur.
Well, hey,
I
this
now have the bloodlust. It just goes on a rampage throughout the whole city.
well, this was really cool getting to meet you, Anki. I'm gonna go catch up with my friends, though.
Thank you for the food. It wasn't a lot,
Of
but it was
course.
food.
Just It was. Just be careful if you see any more like this out in the jungle. Sometimes they're poisonous.
I stay out of the jungle. And then he's like,
Oh,
gets like,
that's good.
he kind of gets like hit with like a, I don't know, like a palm spray by its owner because he needs to move the cart that he has. So the Ankylosaurus is
Oh,
ushered
okay,
away
bye,
by its
Anky.
owner. It's like, by a small thing.
Goodbye. And she waves. And then I'll go bedside and just like kind of like tending to her hand and be like, I met a dinosaur.
Who are you telling that to specifically?
Truffle hugging a dinosaur now.
To the
Probably like a tenth the size of the dinosaur, you know.
oh yeah, it's just so tiny. No, she would go up to Waxy Shadow and I'll remember this other name eventually. Ina, that's it. She'll go up to them, specifically to Ina, and like tug on her dress and be like, I met a dinosaur.
I always forget that you can do that. Not the meeting the dinosaur that I. Considering your hand, did you talk to it? Why did it bite you?
It got a little excited about the food I offered it.
Well, I guess be more careful next time. Pull your hand away. I don't have anything for this. Look. I'm glad you met the dinosaur. I'm sure it was very nice. But
It was.
oh, I'm glad you liked it. And she turns to the rest of the crew. It's like, so now we're here. I'm gonna go find whoever is managing the entertainment here because maybe I'll do a bit of it. You know, you see me on the boat.
Sounds like fun.
All right. Well, I'll see you all in a little bit. Just watch my stuff. And she like puts her guitar and her bag down, just being like, please don't let anybody take this stuff, and just goes to find the manager, I guess. Whatever passes for a manager at this place.
So
like,
yeah,
hey.
what the situation is, it's pretty much like any bar except not westernized like you would expect. So there's somebody polishing glasses, somebody like rolling out barrels and making sure that like the type of their beverages are of quality, and serving there's service going on because there are people here to eat and drink as well. It doesn't seem like there's a manager, but there is a person behind the bar.
That works. All right, I'll go talk to the bartender then.
And you're requesting to perform for them?
Yeah, just like asking about performances and being like, is it possible for people who are new to do it? Because I also technically have the what is it, by popular demand feature. I could just automatically do it. Let me put it in chat. There we go.
Okay. Well, that helps out because like you go up and you're like, yeah, I'd like to like know if there's anything that I can do to like perform or whatever. And he was the bartender. God, I'm sure he has a name. I'm failing miserably at my job. Wow. Was about to start going into the fact that the Tabaxi minstrels usually have the entertainment business on lock. So there's part of the merchant princes that they work in a specific way, and entertainment is not one of those things that goes unnoticed by the princes. But because of that trait, he kind of lets it slide. It's like, let's see how you do. How about you give it a shot? It's a slow time. Maybe people will come in. Hey, maybe you might even bring in some people if you do a good job. There could be some coin for you.
I don't doubt it. Yeah. So I will perform at some point, I suppose.
Great. So what I would say while this is happening at the table, I guess Waxy and Shadow, you guys are discussing something along the lines of the quest that you're on. Like you want to go on an archaeological find of some sort. You want to look for some artifact you may have an idea of. But you know that you can't leave Port Nyanzaro through any of the gates without having a guide. And neither of you guys have registered to serve as one. So, with that, you understand that there is ways to come upon a guide. Usually you pay a person who is registered anywhere between 1 and 5 gold pieces a day. But there may be people willing to work for other favors, such as, helping them out with things. So,
Is there anyone that we already know who works as a guide?
that sounds like something you should make a roll for. I'm just trying to think what you should roll.
Roll my circles. I've got 0.
Yeah, so I believe that for this particular situation, I do think that it would be nice for each person to have like some type of contact within the city, but having a guide be one of those contacts immediately off the bat would be helpful, but maybe you guys have a complication with them. Like maybe it'll be like a grudging help kind of thing, if that works out for you guys.
Sure. Well, I mean, I feel like someone that we know is probably going to want a favor in return as opposed to money.
Mm-hmm.
A complicated favor, probably.
Okay.
But I'm willing to make a roll to see how complicated this favor is. Or I know that sings at the moon. Her sister's cousin works as a guide, right?
Oh no.
No?
Yes, but I am concerned.
I think I just have like. I think I may have a solution to this problem.
Yeah, just I think in this time while we're waiting, Yuna shows back up at the table and sits back down.
So yeah, while I guess the time passes and you guys like either Shadow or Waxy or both of you guys kind of have like that eureka moment, and you're like, what about Iku? Like Iku is a person that you're familiar with, and they're qualified to be a guide out into the jungles. They may have a complicated task for you, but you are not in terrible standing with them. They aren't like your best friend. You don't know each other too well, but it's somebody who you're familiar enough with that like they would know your name as well as you know their name.
That's right. Eco just got their certification. They should. Let's reach out to them, eh?
Yeah, we could certainly do that. I feel like it would be a better deal than 1 to 5 gold a day, especially since we're pretty broke.
Unfortunately, you have not been succeeding in getting us the requisite monies that we need. You promised me that you would take care of this portion of it.
I'm working on it. I tried to take us to the wealthy.
Well,
Look, I don't know who Iku is. Perhaps we get introduction.
Well,
Iku will be able to help us navigate the jungle.
I feel like
We must have a guide to leave the city.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to leave the city without Iku's presence. Or another guide's presence. There are more guides. Iku is an option, not the only one.
then we can go and speak with them. See if they're available.
We can definitely see what they want.
So if they're interested, that sounds good.
So there is another much like Waxy and Shadow, there is a group of tabaxi named River Mist and Flask of Wine who are partners in guiding, but you guys kind of have like a rivalry with them. Like, you're catty with these tabaxi.
No more than 2 cats in any group. Get those other 2 cats out of here.
Is the rest of Chult so obsessed with certifications as this city?
It has a lot to do with the princes.
Oh.
Everything is run by merchant princes.
Another response to that would be like, what do you mean the rest of Chult?
Would be okay. Well, I mean, we could meet your friend. Is it a friend? Is it a companion? Is it
Acquaintance.
Oh, okay, acquaintance. Okay. I don't. Obviously, you are the experts here. You are the ones who know. I could probably go talk to a few people. I bet Truffle knows someone. I mean, did the dinosaur tell you anything?
Oh, they were just hungry.
Did you do anything about your hand? Like, did you wrap it in cloth or anything? Or
yeah, she's probably wrapped it up by now, and it's just kind of like she's just looking at it. She's like, "No, he was just hungry."
Actually, so because of your situation, like you come in and I guess you walk sluggishly too. Like you're just slow about all the things you do. Is that
very slow?
Okay, so like one of the maidens of the establishment sees you walking in slow, like wrapping your hand, and like she sees it as you being super down, and she walks over and she's like, "Small one, are you okay? What happened? How can I help?"
Oh, it was just a hungry dinosaur.
And
Nothing really to be worried about.
And like as soon as do you like turn to her because like she catches you from like a back view?
Oh yeah. She's absolutely polite and cordial to everyone.
Okay,
so she would have slowly turned and canted her head up and looked at her.
She at first thought you were like a child who wandered into the bar injured, so she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, but I'm glad you're okay. Do you need anything to clean that? Those bites can get nasty if you don't take care of them."
If you have something, I would appreciate it. It would really help.
Well, we do have some strong spirits that not many people would like to drink, but are very good for sterilizing. If you'd like, it's 1 copper. You can pour it on your hand.
Okay, I'll take some of that.
All right, well, let's get you over to a basin. So she kind of ushers you over to the basin, takes your copper, and then, like, it burns like hell.
Ow.
Awesome.
By the way, make sure to wrap it, Truffle.
Okay. And she'll assist in the cleaning, being pretty proficient with medicine herself.
Awesome.
And she'll make sure it's nice and wrapped.
Oh, was she hurt?
She got beat by a dinosaur. Apparently,
no, not do that.
This again, she has a thing for talking to animals, and it makes sense. But at the same time, perhaps the slow reflexes are not exactly, conducive to keeping your hands, keeping all your fingers. I mean, I think it's fine. I don't. She hasn't. It's not like she's causing trouble or anything. She's talking to a dinosaur. Though, to be fair, I just found out what dinosaurs were, so maybe that's the whole thing. I
feel like maybe next time she should put the food on a stick.
Perhaps.
Yeah, that's some information to know for next time.
That's
It
actually
seemed to be an omnivore, though. It was entirely an accident.
That's actually like a common practice now. That's canon. Like when kids feed dinosaurs, they put the food on a stick to give it to the dinosaur. But at this point, the barkeeper, who I've still yet to figure out their name because I'm lazy, is like, Yina, weren't you supposed to perform? Like,
oh yes, of course. You give me a second, and she like gets out her guitar, It's like I will be there post haste.
By the way, Truffle, you might want to double check the grog that they just gave you. They have some pretty interesting chemicals and fermentation that they use. You might be interested in that.
Oh, I should have asked her about that. She said it was a spirit, so I just assumed it was the same process. And she'll like hop back down from her chair and wander after this attendant.
Yeah, Yuna like takes her guitar, make sure it's tuned, and walks up to the stage. And she's gonna do some bit of dancing and playing guitar at the same time.
You're going to dance and play guitar at the same time?
It's easier than dancing and singing at the same time, tell you that much.
You're going to roll at disadvantage, though.
Oh, okay. Fine. Be that way. Be like that.
You jerk.
You jerk. How dare you? I mean, it's fair.
I mean, your arms are real. Like, a lot of people think it's all the hips and legs, but your arms matter in your dance, too.
Oh, you're telling me.
Hey, these hips don't lie, Saint, okay?
All right, so I'm rolling performance with at disadvantage, which probably means I'm going to use luck. It's fine. Don't worry about it. That's
Oof,
an 8.
oof.
That's not great. No.
I mean, it's better. It's it's not bad enough for you to like get kicked out or like one of the minstrels to come in and start freaking out at you. Like if you got a 7 though, I think you would have gotten in trouble.
But I'm going to use a luck point, and we're going to get a better roll because this is unacceptable.
Oh yeah, I did give you guys those that level 1 feat. Cool. Okay.
I have luck. I also could technically use my Tides of Chaos to have given me advantage and gotten 11. But actually, you know what? I'll do both. I'll do luck and I'll do Tides of Chaos. So I cancel out the disadvantage and I get to reroll. Let's do it. Let me post this.
Yeah, let's drop
boop.
that.
And boop. Oh god, these are long.
It's fine.
All right, let's do it. Let's roll a performance again. That's a lot better.
Unfortunately, with lucky, hold on. Use attack roll. Okay, it is an ability check. Never mind. You are fine. Yeah. And I guess you like when you need to use your arms in your dance, you swing your guitar over to your back and you do the right movements. I think most of your success is that it's not the same as the minstrel dances. You are doing something different. These people are infatuated by the new culture that you're bringing to this bar.
Your guitar has a strap.
I was just gonna say, like, Yina's got the shoulder strap, and she's like flipping it around her shoulders. You know?
Yeah. I mean, the other part of the thing for her dance is like her dance heels, like because it's a wooden stage. Like there's like that part of it where there's the rhythmic tapping that she's doing.
She performs "Welcome to the Jungle" by AC/DC.
I mean, it's the perfect song for this.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that, I can see like you both getting, some money thrown on stage. You perform, I would guess you do like a full performance. So you're there for like 2 hours, then break, then 2 hours, I guess would be like a typical bar performance. In your break, you probably sit and eat with the party. We can do a scene of what that's like where they if you guys would like to do that, and I'll calculate like what exactly you get out of this, because you're going to make some money from people like tipping you, putting money in your guitar case, so to speak, and you're going to be compensated by the bar owner because you brought in brought in some crowd.
Cool.
So we'll talk about that, but how about this in between I guess in between sets conversation at the table where you all have received your food that you ordered. It's being covered by the house because of the performance that Yina has just done. And Yina was not present when you were discussing about Iku or anything like that, I believe. I'm not
sure. She was present for like a couple seconds, but then she got called up on stage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. And Truffle, are you just kind of hanging out and eating too?
Yeah. She's She's just been kind of picking at the stuff, probably avoiding the meats, but eating any of the vegetables and stuff that were brought up.
Cool. Also, are you truffle or truffles?
Truffles.
So there's an S. Okay, I'll make sure to fix that in
Yes.
the bot and in my information as well.
It initially was truffle, and I fixed it too because it's supposed to be truffles.
Okay, great. So with that, I guess you guys have a brief conversation talking about how to leave the city proper at all. You need to have a guide to go with you. You mentioned, if you would like, you mentioned those other tabaxi that you guys are not best friends with, so to speak. And then Iku is the one that I recommended that you guys think would be the best option. Now, you also know there are other guides. Those aren't the only two options available to you, but you would have to go looking into it more so. It wouldn't just be knowledge that you have off the top of your head.
At least the plan for me right now is probably to try Iku first.
You
and
want to
then
give
kinda see
Iku a
what he
try
says.
first? Cool. And mostly just like, you can't do Azaka because I've seen Azaka's story before.
Azaka's fun though.
Azaka
Iku
is
is
super
also-
fun.
Iku is also super fun, so I'm excited for that.
So I guess because Gina's still up there performing at the time, I would look at the other two at the table and Waxy, I believe you want to check Iku first, yes?
I do.
Is that okay with you, Truffles?
Well, I don't know Iku, but I suppose if we wanted to talk to her, that could be interesting.
Oh, but do you not eat the meat?
Oh, no. Once you become, more interested in mushrooms, you start learning about, like, decay and stuff, and it makes eating meat very unappealing.
Oh, well, here, let me give you some of my vegetables and I will take your meat.
Okay, that's a good trade.
Well, I'll swap out some meat for some veggies.
Do we know where we could probably find Iku at this hour?
I think we should probably wait until tomorrow.
I would also say you probably would wait until tomorrow.
Best
as
not to
well.
wake them up and upset them.
First off, y'all are tired. Y'all been on a boat for X days. So,
Yeah, the thing is, Waxy is one of those people who want to get everything done before she can relax and sleep.
oh, I
So-
know. I'm trying to challenge your beliefs right now. I know we aren't
Oh.
playing Burning Wheel, but
Right, in the morning, of course. Then we can all go visit, I think.
It's fine, sister. Get some rest.
so while your meals get compensated and Ina, oh no.
I still have the same glass of what is that drink called that's not mead but also kesh from earlier when we were walking. It's not finished yet, but I've been drinking it slowly. There's like a 1/4 inch of warm tesh at the bottom of my mug.
There's definitely a bug or two in there as well.
No, I've eaten those.
Oh, have you? Okay. So that's why you've been carrying around the warm tej, is so you get the nice.
Oh yeah, totally.
Extra protein.
Oh, that sucks.
Jesus. There aren't a lot of people today. Not a lot of people
Damn.
today.
So you get 1 gold piece and 1 silver piece for your performance.
Dang.
Wow, cheap crowd. Jeez.
I mean, a gold
That is
piece
a
goes a
real
long
tough
way
crowd.
though. Like
No,
if
a gold piece is a lot.
yeah.
And you just paid for the rest of our meals, so
Yeah, and you
True.
did get free meal.
That's
So
fair.
although damn 2 1s in a row. Sucks for when we get into combat because that means I'm
I was
gonna
just gonna
roll
say,
like
hey,
a
get 'em
frickin'
out now,
monster later.
And that, we're gonna get like 20s and crits in combat and be like,
You're forgetting I'm the GM, so I'm going
no,
to be
that's
the ones
that's what
getting
I
all the
said. They're
crits
like,
on you
"Ugh,
guys.
murder us."
Yeah, just gonna kill all of us. It's fine.
Fine.
This is
great.
the reason it's called the Tomb of Annihilation.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Anywho, so your performance draws in a crowd. You people come to the table not just because of Yina's performance, but because they know Waxy and Shadow, and also because they're interested by this strange white-haired speckled halfling. They come by, they just ask general questions. They aren't being super nosy, but they're being like, hey, we just had a few drinks where our cheeks are a little red, let's be friendly and chat. And then there's a couple people who are like, you strangers, but Shadow and Waxy know what they're doing. Like there's people who look like they want to, swindle you somehow, but are reluctant to do so because of your connection with Waxy and Shadow. So you're seeing that there is a diverse group of people coming to speak to you just to talk and be friendly, and other people who want to play you out.
So as I'm making small talk, I am also totally playing with a ball of yarn. Just like batting it back and forth.
As you do.
Yeah.
As you do.
Yina is like equal parts like answering people's questions, like keep them interested, and also flirting, because she's got to do all of those as a performer. She's gotta.
Nice. So flirting how? Like batting eyelashes or returning advances?
First one mostly.
Okay, because that could get interesting.
Yeah, no,
otherwise.
it's for right now. She's mostly like the performance age of like, hey, I'm probably gonna be here more. Remember me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you're like people are throwing names at you that you're forgetting, but people are remembering your name. If that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So over the next, I don't know. I'm kind of timing this because we were going to take like a 15-minute break halfway through. So we got about 20 minutes to do some stuff. And then I figured after we got back from break is when we would go and meet up with Iku. Yeah, so if you guys wanted to pursue any nightlife stuff beyond your own performances, if you wanted to do any like...
We going out to the club.
If you had any like NPCs you wanted me to introduce, like is there anything that you guys want to see happen before we start moving on with the stuff that I have prepared to happen?
So I guess we know that happens here at night. Like, would there be anything that, or...
The city does maintain activity at night. Like, not into like... It's not like Vegas by any means, but like there will be lanterns, there will be torches. People still continue to work and operate within Port Nyanzaru. As far as nighttime events, there are a few like gambling circles that occur within the bars. Although there is no dinosaur racing happening right now, you could go to a broker there and start like placing bets. You could also like play a game of cards. You could go and see performances if Yina was interested in not just showing off but learning. You could do things of that nature. There's different temples to different gods, and different sights to see. As far as what any of you guys are interested in, that's what I am asking you.
Is there illegal dinosaur racing?
Illegal dinosaur? No. That would be crazy.
Get some illegal dino street racing.
Yeah, it's
like down the street. That'd be amazing. You just like open up.
I want to race the dwarven Vin Diesel, who has the like souped up raptor.
I just want to take Crazy Taxi and change all of the cars into dinosaurs now.
Wait! It would be Crazy Tabaxi.
Oh no!
My dinosaur is lowered and has ground effects and underglow. Just so you know.
Need for Speed Port Nyanzaru.
Let's do it.
Actually,
underground dino racing ring.
Yeah, literally underground.
I mean, you would have to do it underground because the live races.
But yeah, looking for other performances like learn Chilton performance art would be a good thing for Una to do. She would definitely be interested in that.
Yeah, and like let me see if I can
I
pull up
could
a
certainly take you to see the other performers.
Oh, that would be wonderful. That would be I it seems that they have their own entertainers guilds. I don't really know the terminology for that, but you know,
Mm, give me
It's-
It's hard to
one
explain
second.
specifically, especially since I do not run in those circles.
Mm.
But they could probably give you a better explanation.
Where
Everything
did it
is
go?
run by the Merchant Princes here, so they it's one of the Merchant Prince's followers, I suppose you could say.
One of their domains or something like that.
Yes, something to that effect.
So if you so what you would know of tabaxi minstrels is there an assortment of, any gendered tabaxi that gather in small tropes and like make their own settlements together in which they spin music or do performances or tell stories or dance, or they each have their own little things that they would do. um they as far as like the minstrels themselves go, they don't like to stay in one place. So like when they do post up their little tropes, it's more like a circus than like a shanty, I guess.
Right.
So you'll see that they'll pass here and there. I had misrepresented that this was something that was handled by the princes, but I will say that there is likely certain locations within the city that there are like permits to perform at that are held
So I
by
guess
certain
we'll
minstrels.
take a look at like the normal spots, the go-to kind of spots.
Mm-hmm.
Try to find like a variety of performances. So like some dancing, some singing, some
Yeah.
performance.
Seeing where the troops are, yeah.
Yep, exactly. So yeah, they're
Like education for truffles.
easy enough to find. They do like move around in groups. It's like not just one. Well, sometimes you'll run into a single tabaxi minstrel, but most of the time it'll be like one or two, one with a lute, one reading off like a epic poem, or one doing a dance, or fire breathing, or any assortment of type of entertainment. They make their money by showing off somehow, some way.
All right. I'm gonna go look for that. I don't know what Shadow was saying something else.
I was just saying that I was also keeping an eye out for vegetation for truffles. Any kind of like plants or whatever that like I would think like interesting for her.
Just like any type of plant life that they wouldn't have seen on like the mainland Faerun.
Yeah, because like
'Cause
I
virtually
kind of travel
all
back
of
and
it
forth, so
is
I would
like
know what like indigenous.
it's like going from, I don't know, Toronto to the Bahamas. Like everything's different.
Right. So I would just kind of like point stuff out.
Yeah,
Like, kind of
everything
So you
probably
would
looks
just be
different.
like,
She's-
yes, well, this tree here is like, okay, gotcha.
That is the breadfruit, and
right.
I don't really like the fruit, but some people they eat it, and it looks like a loaf of bread. You see.
Whoa,
Very high in
that's
carb.
so cool.
I
Watch
had
out for the spiders in those
Does
trees.
it also have like? Oh, I was going to ask if they had like butter leaves to put in the breadfruit.
No, that's dumb.
Oh. She looks sad.
Oh, it's okay, Truffles. She's always like this.
So I did want to say, because I didn't mention it in the initial like arrival description, literally 95% of the time it is raining in some capacity. You are in a rainforest. So right now it's not like torrential downpour monsoon, but it is like a steady rain. You're going to get wet. You got to get comfortable being wet. It's just going to be your life the entire time you're on the island. Or it's a peninsula, but still.
It just means we don't need to shower.
It's gonna be a lot of Yina using prestidigitation. I can tell you that much.
Ew, get it off. Get it off.
Yeah.
Well, can't you just use your wind genastiness to like move the air around you to keep the water from falling on you?
I guess she could. Yeah, she could also do that. When she's not actually using the levitation, she's just like there's just a little bit of wind going around her all the time. It's one of those cases where she had a cape, it would always be fluttering in a wind that nobody could see.
Of course it would.
You do that thing.
Her
you have to
hair
go
is
like,
always
turn your head
moving in
inside,
that.
and there's like the wind behind you.
Yeah, exactly.
You always have the hair moving in the makeup commercial kind of way. Got
yeah,
it.
she's got magnificent hair flips, just like. Whoosh.
What it?
She just keeps the cape billowing so it does it on its own.
Yep. It's a magic.
I mean,
item,
yeah,
pretty sure.
you would have some pretty solid hair flips. I had to look at your character sheet to figure out how solid your hair flips would be. But all right, so Yina goes and looks for some performers. Anything specific? Are you looking to hone like one of your own skills, or are you trying to see something new?
Something new.
Okay, so there are some like jugglers / like daresmen, I guess would be.
Oh, the fire ones are really good.
So it's not so much like they're magicians where they're sawing a box in half with a lady inside of it, but they're like balancing on top of like sabers. But because of the way that they're positioning their weight, the sabers aren't piercing. But like after they get off of the saber, they take it and then they like cut something that's really like solid in half with it to show off like, hey, this was a really sharp damn sword that I just balanced on top of. There's people who do like fire breathing alongside of these people. So probably like there's probably 2 people fire breathing over top of these people posting up on these sabers.
Right.
So you'll see a lot of like really like Daredevil-esque performances. You'll see there's God damn it. Extreme Sports Dinosaur Edition. People doing backflips on Triceratopses.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm here for.
Full contact
You,
dynamic.
you balance yourself on the Triceratops' nose,
Yeah.
and then it kicks its head back,
Oh,
and then you
is
stay
there-
in the
is there,
air,
like-
and then you land.
Nice.
Yeah, there would be quite a bit of that actually. It would be like the way that they use circus animals, but they would use dinosaur in the positions of like, tigers or in the position of an elephant. So there's like they probably have like stegosauruses balancing on like a beach ball like you would see elephant do so in a modern day circus. So you would see different stuff like that,
Nice.
which is pretty freaking rad if you think about it. I would go see it.
It's very rad. This is why we went looking for it, looking for rad stuff.
But alongside with that, like you're seeing these performances, are you being that schmuck that doesn't pay it forward? You
Please, of course I pay. That's rude to not pay people for their art.
okay, cool. So what are you chucking at them? I know that you received 1 gold and 1 silver, but that was for a full set, so
Mhm.
2-hour sessions. So like throwing a couple copper here and there, like they're performing for crowds. Like this is
Right.
out in like an open court area where there probably is commonly an assortment of people at night that gather to see these kind of things go down. So,
Mhm.
I mean, it's not like you need to pay a boatload of money.
Yeah. Right.
I suspect you probably did not get literally 1 copper and literally 1 silver and literally 1 gold. You
hope
probably got like,
The equivalent of that.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like a bunch of silver and copper.
right, exactly.
Shadow,
yeah,
what are
I'll
you
prob-
doing, you shady a-hole? I know you're trying to get rich.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I mean, I need to know what.
No, I am probably looking for somebody from out of town that looks well-to-do that I can get to fund our expedition.
Oh God, I know exactly who, but like introducing you to this person, and then also introducing you to Iku. That's gonna be fun. Okay, we'll figure this out. How about we take our little 15-minute break here? Well, 5 minutes early. And then we'll go from there.
Sounds good.
right.
Sounds good.
Boo 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 boo.
Sounds good.
Stick with us, guys. We'll be back.
Be back soon.
Let's do it.
Hello, we're back. Hi.
We made it. We survived the break.
We did
did
survive
it.
the break.
Yay!
All right.
15
So what had been decided is from the performances that were admired by Yino last night, she had presented them with 1 silver, which they were grateful for. They did a flourishing bow as they would towards anybody giving them money for their performances. And then I believe you guys are going to tuck in for the night at the Thundering Lizard, which was the bar you were at previously. I guess, right?
We got free room and board thanks to Ina.
Yep.
So
Mhm.
that would make the most sense.
So we'll take you'll heal that hit point back there, Truffle. Anybody who has used spells, since I know you use talk to animals, but I don't know if
Oh no, I bled out. It's a first level, so I'd get it back. Yeah.
All right, 1,000 bits for TPK. So you all need to die somehow. Anything for the bits. Nah, I don't.
We're certainly
that's not
working
what
on
this
it.
is about. But okay. So with that said, you all go to sleep. It was raining before, and now it is definitely freaking raining. Like not sideways, but it is pouring rain.
Mhm.
We're going to ask Waxy, since she is the one who wants to get shit done. What's up? What are we doing?
We're gonna go to EQ first.
We're gonna go to
Find
EQ
out
first.
what her deal is.
Okay.
And then from there, our next steps will be determined by what she says.
Cool. I don't know. So this is a bit of a me problem, not so much a you guys problem, but I happen to have lost one of my things.
Oh,
Did I?
what thing?
The finding a
Sounds like a-
guide. Like there's a particular it's not really a handout, but it's a
There's
a
a guide
document.
for the guides.
There's a guide for finding
there's-
guides, and I wanted my description of
It should be in the
EQ test.
chapter 1.
Yeah,
So we lost the
disappeared.
guide.
We lost the guide.
Ah, shit. Everybody back on the boat.
Yeah, we're gonna be so.
All right.
We're gonna
Start
be
over.
So
unguided.
we're now playing Princes of the Apocalypse.
I was gonna say we're moving on to Dragon Heist. Let's go.
Mad Mage right now.
Mad Mage right now.
That's how we get the money.
So you are now in the Sunless Citadel.
Hmm.
We get on the boat into a portal to Ravnica.
Handouts. Here we go.
No, we just go to sleep in one inn and wake up in a different one.
I found the thing I
Oh
lost.
shit, we're in Ravenloft. The mist took us while we slept.
Ravenloft is awesome.
All right, so you guys have the handout of EQ.
It
that I gave
is.
you.
Oh, we have the handout. Cool.
So I'm going to ping. We're heading up a little north. She's up here. Is where you would know to find her. If you're seeing my ping.
Yes.
EQ is clothed in a light blue robe and carries a walking stick carved in the likeness of Coddle. She stands about 5'6", and looking at her soaking wet, she probably weighs like 120 pounds. Beyond that, can I get a... I don't know. Just a general... Shit. I don't know.
Perception, insight.
Yeah, an insight. Let me get an insight from Waxy or Shadow.
Bloop.
Okay.
Oh, I should probably change that so that it doesn't always roll, because I hate that.
I mean, it's good that it always rolls too, but I mean, if it's not your preference, it's not your preference.
I like the toggle buttons. Then I can choose what I'm doing, as long as I remember to choose them.
Fair enough.
With that particular role, you know that she frequently speaks with the Aarakocran tribes that are native to Chol outside of Port Nianzaru, and she has an interest in particular rare flowers that must be retrieved from outside of the city. Do you share that information with the party?
Now, I understand that she is particularly interested in rare flowers. Maybe we can offer our services to help her retrieve some of these. You think that would be a good payment?
I am sure Truffles would be down with that.
Oh, absolutely. I could help her find anything she might need, especially if it helps us cover this exorbitant amount of gold she's asking for.
But we let Shadow do the talking.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I think that would be best.
So, Iku, she's a fairly popular woman, but you do happen to find her at a reasonably slow time. I believe she's like speaking to somebody, and as you guys arrive, that person is walking away, and you, I guess, who would be walking up to engage?
Probably me.
You would? Okay.
I walk up to her and I say, "Ah, Iku, pleasure to see you again."
Shadow. Shadow, what can I do for you? And she says it with like a sigh. She's like, something's up.
Oh, this sigh is because you love me, yes?
Love is a strong word I don't use often, and I wouldn't use it when referring to you. But
You wound me.
what can I do for you? Why are you here? Obviously, you need something.
We find ourselves in need of a guide, and we were wondering what we might be able to do to assist you. To see if we could do something to help you, and then you could help us.
Well, what do you need the guide for? First and foremost.
We want to venture outside the city to look for some runes and artifacts that our family has been seeking for some time now.
Okay. Well, those particular types of ventures aren't usually of interest to me.
Oh,
If-
I am aware.
if
but we have
you're-
someone in our party that might be able to assist you with your particular interests. Truffles over here is actually an expert botanist, and we might be able to assist you in some herbs that you are looking for.
And when he says that, Shadow probably sees that Truffles is like standing slightly behind him and to his left, and she's just like, "Hello."
So
I kind
she
of pat her on the head, you know?
she like kneels down, but not in like a chastising way, and she's like, "Why, hello there. I'm Iku. It's a pleasure to meet you. And you are?
I'm Truffles. Hi, I'm Truffles. It's nice to meet you.
Wow.
I like your stick.
I like your hair. You're quite precious. You were somewhat of a botanist, as Shadow. She side eyes you like says.
I'm
Yes.
like in the middle of whispering to Waxy, like, I need to teach her the sad stare. Like,
The sad kitten stare. Yes, I am. I know my way around plants and mushrooms and animals, and I don't know the jungle though. And they said you would be a good guide to help us.
Well, it is true. I am a guide. Now your
she's the
friends,
best guy.
your friends are looking for a guide to go. I don't know, spelunk, pillage, whatever you may call, for artifacts, find ruins, look for treasures. That's not what I'm interested in.
History is what we are looking
This
for.
this island recently mostly has been overcome with an infestation of terrible sensations, both spiritual and physical. I don't like it. This is my home. I want to do good. If you're both willing to help me retrieve some of these herbs that I seek, which will help heal some of the sick here in our city, while also ridding the forest of this unknown but powerful evil we may be able to broker a deal. Now, looking at you guys, you and she like looks up at Yina as if like, I haven't met you. Like, hello, I'm EQ.
Walks up a little bit sheepishly. Yina. Yina. I'm just like, not sure like to shake her hand or like to like bow. Or...
And she kind of chuckles and she's like, whatever is customary for you. And like, do you shake her hand? Do you bow? Like, what is?
She just like gives a nod because she's just very
you
like,
up
just,
nod.
like, yeah, yeah, up nod. Obviously, no, she.
The
I totally give her
customary
like
fantasy
a
up nod.
thing. It's like you're totally
She
supposed
fist
to
bumps her.
Yeah, she like gives like a downward nod and then like also like a small curtsy because she's like, how formal am I supposed to be? And she just like goes for somewhere in between, basically.
So she tries to mimic you. Hold on. Do I have her character sheet? I probably have her character sheet, but hold on. I'll just roll flat. All right, she mimics you near perfectly. So she does your awkward curtsy bow of like, I don't know whether to highly respect or to treat you as an equal. She mimics that. And it feels natural. Like you guys just do something super awkward, but it comes off way natural, which is kind of interesting.
Performers.
Oh, she's good.
So as I was saying, Truffle, also once again a pleasure, Yina. I know Shadow. I also know Waxy. Waxy I like much more than Shadow. But I don't know. I have a price. People know this price. But if you're willing to do a little extra work for me, we can talk about that price after instead of before.
Okay. Sure. I think that would be agreeable.
Now, I want you to understand that we both are going to retrieve these rare herbs and explore the reasons for the evil, right? This isn't just about getting the flowers. I need you guys to understand this will be dangerous.
Is this evil that you are talking about? I have not heard of this.
I missed the first part of what you said, sorry.
What is this evil that you are talking about? I have not heard of this.
You don't feel it? You don't just sense the problems? You don't notice the people in the streets? People seem restless. There's more reports coming in of there's less guides returning.
Can I attune here and see if I can feel what she's talking about? No, I don't have that skill. Never mind. It's literally not a skill.
Yeah, I was about to say, it sounds like that's a different game, but
it is a different game. I might do that occasionally.
Like, Waxy and I have just returned, so we have not heard any of these rumors.
Well, I'll be the first to tell you things are not as they were before you left, and I'm going to say you guys have been gone for multiple months at the least, either multiple months or a year or so.
I was thinking like 6 months, probably.
Yeah, 6 months sounds about right. So we'll say things have not been the same. You can ask around town, but starting here, I can feel it in my bones that there is something wrong that we must address.
Well, I am all for saving the world.
Yeah,
she side eyes the shit out of you, like really.
Well, I mean, if there's evil and people going missing, that seems like it's very bad. That we should do something about that, no?
That's my thought exactly. Yina, I feel like we could be good friends.
Oh, just like you and I.
Truffle, Yina, how did you two get caught up with these? Waxy's okay. I have no qualms, but Shadow, he may be a character, but he is.
She makes jokes. She loves me. It's fine.
You guys like blushing a little bit, just like, well, I mean, they do generally be a package deal, if that expression.
Yeah, they said they were siblings. I mean, I can kind of see it in the fur and stuff, but I was also told not to assume those things because they look alike.
It's a good point, but yes, they are siblings, and you're right. It is a package deal. If I must travel with Shadow to at least begin to understand what is causing these problems, so be it. Now, I don't know whether it's best to begin today or how exactly you wish to go about this, but there are two tasks that I would like to take on along with your own endeavors. I believe one of which, the figuring things out, will just come naturally upon, going out and seeing what's going on out there. So we don't need to focus on that specifically. But at some point, we're going to need to make our way to Nangalore. We're going to need to collect these herbs, and we're going to have to return them. Would you like to do that? Would you like to explain what your goal is on the way there while we make this trek?
Besides being amazing?
Besides being a
Truffles
pain in
would
the ass,
probably-
yes.
Truffles would probably probe her about what she knows of Vegapygmies while they're walking.
Wait, I'm sorry, I missed that.
Truffles would probably be probing her about what she knows of Vegapygmies while they're walking.
Vegapygmies meaning like animated,
the little-
like hold on. Are they like in the monster manual or something?
They should be in the monster listings for Tomb of Annihilation too, but I think they might be in either Volos or in the regular monster manual, but they're literally just tiny mushroom people. Not like the myconids, but like a more rot fungusy type ones.
Okay, I see what you're talking about.
So they're literally the toads from Mario Brothers.
She gives you a
basically.
little bit like she first asks like, no, obviously you're not from here. How did you hear of these? These are native.
Oh,
They, as far as I know, they haven't
I
spread. That could be a terrible ecological problem for Faerun.
a traveler went to my city. I'm from Waterdeep, and it was a curio seller who had one in a jar, and I saw it, and I was so fascinated by it. I'm fascinated by all things mushrooms, and I've spent time with myconid colonies before, but I've never seen Vegapygmies until that day. And I was told they live out here, so I wanted to go see them.
Interesting. They had one in a jar. That's quite cruel. So Vegapygmies, they're intelligent. They colonize. They live in tribal units and they hunt to sustain themselves. They're quite interesting. It's fascinating, really. I'm not an expert by any means, but if you have interest in these particular creatures, we may be able to find some to interact with and even, learn more for your sake. There are other people that may know better within the city as well, if you were so obliged to ask questions before just going in for field research.
Okay, that could be cool too.
First off, I think you looked into this a bit before you made your character, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the cool ideas that could come of this, but anyway, we proceed. So with that said, the terms have been set. Iku has said that she will adventure with you, no cost up front. She wants two things of you guys to guide you out of the city. She wants you to, one, help her first off find out what is causing this strange distortion to occur within the land of Cholt, and to two, travel to Nangalore to collect a specific herb which is very valuable in healing purposes within the city. So with that,
Sounds fun. Sign me up.
do you guys need time to prepare? Do you need I personally need to tie up some personal matters. As you can tell, I am a person of business. I have things that I have to take care of, but if you would like, come back 2-3 days, we can begin our trek.
Sounds fine by me. We get to explore the city a little bit. I get a little few more supplies. You'll see you then.
It'll let us have some time to try and get ready. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so I have a quick question for you guys. What is your collective count of gold?
I have 16, and everyone else is what, like
10.
10?
I've got 9 and change.
So overall, we have about, in my head, 45 or 50.
Just shy of 50, yeah.
Just shy of 50.
Mhm.
Within these next 3 days, a dinosaur race can occur. Would you like to partake in betting on the dinosaur races?
Or participate.
Or participate? I would
I'm telling
not.
you, I want to make.
I would not recommend participating, but I mean, you could. I have the rules right here for it.
Truffles is small enough to be a rider. She's a
I
jockey.
can hang Truffles on the end of to knock other riders off their dinosaurs.
No, Truffles is small enough to be a jockey. It's you got to be a certain height, and it's
That's
small.
true.
All right.
That's very true.
I at least want to watch them, if not bet
So
on
this
We
may
could- we
sound
could
like a
put- we could put
really,
it for the bet.
really weird
Yeah.
request. Who has the best
Mhm.
sleight of hand out of the party? And whoever has the
Oh.
best sleight of hand in the party,
I imagine one of the two,
Probably.
monk or rogue.
them.
Let's take a look.
I get a
I've
plus
got a
one.
I've got a 3 unmodified.
I have an unmodified 2.
Shadow, you got drowned out.
I said definitely me.
What do you have?
Yeah, I figured as much.
7.
All right. So
Yeah, there you go.
this is a very bizarre request, but I would like you to make an intelligence saving throw plus your sleight of hand.
Oh no.
How does one do that?
Just make an intelligence
Res-
saving throw and add 7 to it after you do so.
Okay.
You should be able to
this to
click
resist klepto?
on your character sheet in roll 20.
Intelligence?
So you would have a 14?
14.
So you would have a 14. So what I was getting at is what the odds of bet, like I was going to tell you the odds on the wagers for the dinosaur betting. The racer with the lowest odds but highest payout is Big Honker, which is a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Sorry.
Or no, I'm sorry. That is the most likely to win with the lowest payout, which would be whatever you wager divided by 7. So you get your money back plus that divided by 7. And the least likely to win is Mountain Thunder, which is an aging Dimetrodon, which is like a weird Spinosaurus but smaller.
So we're putting all our money on green and murdering all the other dinosaurs.
That's not a good thing. Oh, there's a Ankula. You also know that there is a pretty safe bet by the name of Grung Stomper, who is a young Ankylosaurus who could be an up and comer, but they're just like an even a 1-to-1 odd.
I vote for the Ankylosaurus.
Same.
There are others. If you want to know, you can know their names,
What
but
other
you don't know their
Ankylosauruses are there?
odds.
This is important.
We have Ubtau's Favor, which is a Triceratops, and he's currently on a streak. You get that much.
So I have a very important question.
Mhm.
Do we have or can we get access to the dinosaurs beforehand and have Truffles talk to them?
Legally or illegally?
Honest,
Either. I'm fine with
the because of how important this is to the culture and the city's economy itself, I'm going to say hard no at level 1. Like if you guys were a higher level, that would probably be something we could pull off, but
Damn it.
level 1
Yeah.
trying to bust up the economics of city.
The bribes would have cost more than Iku's
Well,
monthly.
no, I'm
Yeah.
not actually saying about bribes, but I just wanted the Truffles to be able to talk to the dinosaurs and be like, "So how you feeling?"
Yeah, they're
Maybe-
they're kept very
Well-
very well guarded because like
We-
they are a huge source of money because everything is taxed and tithed back to the city. So like
So how
if one of
so
the
how good is Yina's seduction roll then to just keep the guards busy?
Look, we don't have pit access. They're not gonna let us in.
Yeah.
yeah, so
No,
that's pretty much
it
it.
is
You're
worth a
you're
shot.
not going to like you can sit here and roll and everything, but it's not going to happen. And if you like, you'll roll a 20 and it'll just still not happen, kind of thing. But did you want to continue
Yeah.
to hear all of the contestants because there are a total of 2?
Yes.
Sure,
There
totally.
are
Tell
9
us about it.
contestant dinosaurs. With the intelligence saving throw plus sleight of hand, which was the weirdest thing I've ever asked anybody to do. You learned that Mountain Thunder has the lowest odds, but you can get the most payout if they win. You learned that Grung Stomper is an even payout, so that's a 1-to-1, and it's a young Ankylosaurus. And you learn that Big Honker, which is the Tyrannosaurus Rex that like usually always wins, is the lowest payout, but usually always wins. There's also Ubtal's favorite, which is a Triceratops who has recently been on a streak. You get that much. There's Banana Candy, which is a great name.
Truffle's
I wish
eyes
my
go
name was
immediately
Banana
wide when
Candy.
she hears banana candy.
Which is a Hadrosaurus. What the heck is a Hadrosaurus? I don't know. Take a look at this.
By the way, are you like making up these names yourself?
No,
'Cause I
I'm
need you
I'm
to
reading off a
there.
table.
Okay.
There's there's one called Bone Cruncher, which is an ill-tempered Allosaurus. Then there's Scarback, which is a Tyrannosaurus Rex that's on its last race. This is the last time they will race.
They were 1 week from retirement.
Yeah, pretty much. You're
no.
coming in on their retirement race. Then
Oh,
there's
He's gonna get shot 47 times before the race is ended.
Nasty Boy, who is another Allosaurus, and their trainer is very famous for breeding and raising dinosaurs.
Now, when you say nasty boy, is it BOY?
no, it's
BOI.
BOY.
Oh.
No hashtag nasty boy.
Missed opportunity.
Aw.
Look, we have banana candy. That's a good enough
Yeah.
hashtag
Yeah,
already.
I wish I knew.
Truffles is invested in banana candy. He is all about that.
So, and then the last one we have is Jungle Princess, who is a Dianacus. Oh no, it's like a tiny velociraptor, and their jockey is terrified.
So Truffles is gonna knock this guy out, steal his clothes, and pose as the rider.
I love it specifically. Their rider is terrified. That's the only information.
Yeah, you don't hear
Right.
anything else. Just he does not want to do this.
All right, so
Terrified's actually his name. So
Ah,
you know
It's a
Back-
family name.
he's a goblin. I mean, it's
oh, he's a
the
goblin.
funny
That's
thing
all.
is it says with frightened jockey, so it could be two different. It could be Jungle Princess and Frightened Jockey. It could just be the group's name. It's my next indie band.
They're a package deal race too.
They're a tribute band.
So you can bet on any of those. You only know the odds of the most likely, the least likely, and the even. But is there any that stand out? for you?
Truffles is going all in on banana candy.
How much money are you putting in on banana candy?
9 gold.
You're putting 9 gold.
Yeah. She is certain that this is going to be a good payout.
Yep. Go ahead. No,
I
go
was
ahead.
gonna say, I'm all about the Ankylosaurus. There were 2 different Ankylosauruses. Is that right?
Give me 1 second. I need to math. I'm sorry.
Sure.
We can round it up to 10 because I only spent a copper. If that helps the math.
It actually makes it harder.
Oh,
So we're
okay.
going with
Never
9.
mind then.
So you actually win 3. So you get 12 back. You put in 9 and come back with 12.
Oh, that's not.
All right, Waxy,
Awful.
sorry about kind of cutting you off there, but math is hard.
Right. I also wanted to bet on dinosaurs.
Okay. Which one would you like to bet on? I'm kind of jumped the gun.
Were
here.
there 2 ankylosauruses?
There's one Ankylosaurus and 2 Allosauruses.
Oh no, it's all about the ankylosaurus. I want five gold on the ankylosaurus.
You want 5 gold on the Ankylosaurus. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to D&D gambling. I don't know what you
lost,
can.
unfortunately.
Oh damn!
That's fine.
Oh, that sucks.
It's an even odds wager, and you win on evens. Unfortunately, you got odds.
Betting's for suckers, and I want to rob everybody that's at the place.
Robbing
would like to-
everybody is something that you may not be able to pull off, but I will get back to you. Yina, are you
Okay.
betting? Are you doing anything? Are
Yes. I'm gonna bet 6 golds on Jungle Princess was the tiny Velociraptor thing, right?
You're going to bet 6 gold
Yeah.
on them?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Hell yeah.
I'm pumped for this roll.
It's probably a very strange roll, or I'm gonna lose.
Damn. No, it's you need to roll a 1 on a d6, but you get times 5.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
Oh.
you lost your 6 gold.
That's fine. Look.
So Shadow, are you looking for people with fancy hats to just like snatch their purses? What are you doing?
So here's the thing: I don't steal from anybody native, and I only steal from people that look like they got money to spend.
You're gonna bump into Volo.
I'm gonna steal that son
Hold
of a
on. No,
book.
roll me a sleight of hand. Roll me a sleight of hand real
All
quick.
right.
Steal his book. Steal his book.
Let's do this.
Get it. Steal that book.
Damn.
Oh
Cool.
yeah.
That's a B.
We did it, fam. We did it.
It's come full circle.
Is this like through a day's worth of being a slime lord, or is this just one event? Is my question.
I mean, I'm working the crowd.
You're working the crowd?
It seems like we're gonna be here for quite a while because they're betting on a bunch of races. So.
All right, so I'm going to roll a percentile die, and all right. What's 71 divided by 2? Because that's how much gold you get.
35 and a half.
You get 35 gold and a single, and 35 gold and 5 silver pieces.
Best bet there.
I mean, that's pretty good for not betting on anything.
That's very good.
It's almost like you shouldn't gamble and you should just, I don't know.
Steal?
Just
It's
steal.
fine, guys. It's fine.
It's almost like crime does pay.
Almost.
Almost.
Truffle, by the way, you're the only one who won. Banana Candy did you some services.
Yeah,
Hell
banana
yeah,
candy.
go banana candy. I knew it was a good investment.
All right. So now you guys got a little bit of gold to mess around with. I don't know if you're pooling it or whatever. I'm not keeping track of your money, so keep track of your money, please.
I have it on my sheet. So.
Also, once we do get out into the forest, it's a hex crawl, so we're going to need to keep track of food, water, rations, until we come up with a way that we can systematically just say that it's completed. Like, somebody conjures water for the day, and we have water for the day.
We'll just eat all Truffle's mushrooms.
Yeah,
All
so
mushrooms all day.
as soon as we have a mechanical explanation
Mushroom
as to
life.
why we don't need to keep track of rations anymore, we're going to keep track of rations just because of it being a hex crawl. If it wasn't a hex crawl, normally I say screw rations, it's such a pain. But otherwise,
I mean, someone might have good berry, maybe.
good berry is a very, very nice thing.
I have 10 days of rations. And
I also start with 10 days of ration.
how far away is the place that Iku wanted to go?
Oh, Nangalore.
Yeah, like I was looking at the map and I didn't see it on the map, so
You're not going to see it on the map. I need to figure. Hold on,
Yes.
let me find out where
Not
that
part of
is.
town.
Nangalore. Also, a thing that Yina needs to do, she needs to get some non-costume clothes. All she's got is her costume.
Nice.
So,
Out in the middle of the like muddy jungle.
so outro for you. Nangalore's a little bit from Kirsabal.
I know.
I won't say-
I'm looking at Nangalore.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, I didn't know if you knew where it was. I was just gonna not give a direction so it wouldn't give it away.
Yeah. It's a trip. It's weeks. And I mean
Yeah, I
there are
think-
2 separate rivers that you may get to take advantage of. But for the most part,
if I remember, each square is like a day.
yeah,
right?
each hex is a day. Each hex is also an encounter table roll. So
Oh
Yep.
boy.
Part.
that's why hex crawls are hex crawls.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'll pick up some more rations then. Yeah.
Probably a good investment. Yeah, I'm gonna pick up some like traveling clothes, so I don't just have to be not just walking around in costume the entire time.
I would actually like to hire us like a boatman, or at least get us a boat, because I feel like going down the river would be much safer and faster than trying to walk.
Nangalore itself, now the issue, I'm trying to think. The tough part is there's y'all don't have a full map. Like you may be able to get a boatman to a certain point, and you may be able to buy a boat.
I was gonna ask how much a boat is,
I-
but now I
Yeah,
can look.
We definitely need
50
some.
gold
50 gold for a
for a
boat,
Oh.
rowboat.
which will increase it to 2 hex a day, but it's only when traveling on the.
Yeah, how much is a canoe?
Well,
And
one
if-
canoe is not gonna carry us all.
That's true. Maybe it's like 2.
There's some big
Hmm.
canoes out there, but yeah,
I
there
think
there
it's-
are
I think-
5 of you because for all intents and purposes, Iku is now a GMPC. I'm going to play her
Right.
in the background super hard, but like she is a character in your party.
Right.
Mhm.
Counts an experience. Hey.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do that because I don't know how slow I want the campaign to run. So I may just do like more of a loyalty thing and make it like whatever experience
gotta
that
do a
would
loyalty
just
mission
get
then.
sunk into her become something different. I don't know. We'll figure that out. I'll game it.
Right.
All right. So looking at things, Nangalore's a trek. Like it's not going to be a short journey. You guys are off on an adventure. You were just gone for 6 months. You're going to be gone for at least 2 more.
Okay.
So if you have anything to tie up, any family, anything, I mean, Tabaxi don't like to stay in one place for too long anyway.
Why'd you
So you
tie
guys
your
are
family
probably
up?
perfectly fine with this whole thing. But I don't know. How we feeling?
I'm ready to go. I was ready to go before we even like talked to Iku. So
Cool.
Yeah.
So
she's like, I got stuff to do. I'm like, lady, I'm ready. My bags are packed. Like, let's go.
Yuna's just gotta like buy a couple things and maybe do like a couple more performances, and like that's pretty much
yeah,
it.
you
So-
have 3 days. Do you want to do 3 days worth of
Yeah, we
performances?
should hit the shop. We should hit
Yeah.
the shops and get supplies situated.
Mhm.
Because even if we have like 10 days ration, we still need.
So
Others.
I did pretty well at the dinosaur races, so I have almost enough for a boat myself. If anybody would like to pitch in with me,
I unfortunately lost money at the races, but I'm going to perform more. But
I got like 3 gold out of it, so I could help. I got 12 now.
Truffles, I love you. I wish you were a real person that I could just hang out with.
Right?
I'm telling you, I need to teach her how to do the Puss in Boots, like the little like
Puss-
like
The puppy
Just
dog
baby
Yeah.
eyes.
we
Just
get
wait
everything
till we
we
hit
want.
3
Like,
though. She's gonna go from being adorable to terrifying.
So I will let you guys know if anybody's interested. Ooh, actually, oh damn. So a hex is 6 by 6, but like it's 6 miles on any side.
Right.
So a canoe travels at 2 miles per hour, which means you would get way more than 2 hexes a day if you had a boat.
Mhm.
I think it says like rules why it just kind of condenses it where it's basically double the normal movement on the river.
Okay, that's fine. That makes sense.
Also,
Also-
potentially getting some kind of map of the area would be good if that's at all.
Shadow and Waxy, neither of you guys would leave without like a bunch of insect repellent, both Incent and like Salve.
Makes sense.
The one thing about a boat is that when we get out of the boat, we need to carry it.
Yeah, that's the
Mhm.
one thing I was going
Oh.
to say. You guys don't have a map, and you don't know where these rivers lead. And you also haven't
That's
asked
what I-
questions as to how the
I'll be making a map, but that doesn't help us now.
yeah you'll
Can we
be
get a
making
map?
a map, and I will be deleting gray hexes off of a map for you guys as we move along. But also, there is a mechanic where like you make rolls every morning to make sure you guys go in the right direction. Do you guys want to do that or not? I just want to put that on the table because that's
Oh,
up to you.
So
absolutely.
leave it up to Iku.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I'm
You're
fine.
fine
with
with having the potential of just getting lost as heck. Okay, cool.
I mean, we're technically paying Eco to keep us
That's
from
what I
getting.
mean. Like, isn't
Yeah.
that her job? You have one job.
it. One job, EQ. One job.
I mean the jungles are a very interesting place.
Interesting, huh?
So there's also
Hmm.
a native and unique weapon to not just Port Nyanzaru but Cholt called the Yikula.
Ikua.
Did I pronounce that right?
Ikua.
It's described as a simple melee weapon that is a traditional weapon of the Cholton warriors. It consists of a 3-foot wooden shaft with a steel or stone blade up to 18 inches long. Costs 1 gold piece, and it deals 1d8 piercing damage on hit. Although it has the thrown weapon property, is not well balanced for throwing and only has a range of 10 to 30 feet. So, if you guys
In
wanted to
fact,
fancy, there you go. There's an Ikwa.
It's like a javelin, sort of.
It's a shorthand spear that they used in Africa.
Oh, cool. Nice. Yeah. Well, yeah, the important things for Yina is going to be like getting some traveling clothes, getting some more rations like everyone else, getting a supply situated, and probably meeting a couple of like other people who have like trying to find, because the Tabaxi minstrels are like nomadic, right?
Yeah, pretty. I wouldn't say they're nomadic, but they're definitely more gypsy-esque than nomadic. Like
Right,
they
yeah,
travel they travel around and do their
Yeah. Well, if I'm gonna learn, like, if she's gonna learn from them, then she's gonna talk to them, be like, "Hey, how's the jungle? I'm not from here."
I was
Can you tell
actually
me a
going
bit
to
about
say that you guys are going to get some rolls on like rumor tables just from being in the city. Like you'll gather information. So
Cool.
how about this? I'll roll. This is Yina. So
All right. I need to turn one of these bio things into a notes table.
need to pull up. God, I need to just keep this up. Where did it go? Why did it run away from me? Dramatis personae, come back.
It's fine.
So, what you learn is that Cholt had many kings and queens, but none more beautiful than Queen Zokore. Thousands of warriors killed and died for her, but the only memorial of her reign is in the Garden of Nangalore, which is where you're going. That's awesome. Nice coincidence. Which lies on the eastern shore of the river of Oolong, north of Lake Luo, which gives you an understanding that there is it's on the shore of a river.
Okay.
So you learn that.
And that there's a lake somewhere around there.
What was that, Waxy? I'm sorry.
That there's a lake somewhere in that vicinity
There
as
is
well.
also a lake in that vicinity. No, I'm pretty sure everybody's going to get a rumors roll just because you're in the city for 3 days. You're gonna hear stuff, you know.
Can mine be from talking to more dinosaurs?
Sure can.
Heck yeah.
That's awesome.
It's oolong.
Our dinosaur inn.
This is not for Truffle. I think this will be Shadow. You get this one. A ruined city lies up the river Tath, past Kalaka Gorge. Supposedly, no one explored past the gorge, but that's not true. It's just that the few who made it out alive mostly keep quiet about what they found there. I have it on good authority that the ruins are guarded by a Naga who is both wise and generous. So that's some ish you may want to write down, my friend.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
That's
right now.
that's some Tomb Raider-esque sounding junk you would
Naga
want.
and ruins.
All right, we'll roll this next one. I'm not just like picking and choosing who gets the information by a whim. I'm just making sure that like if you get a rumor from a dinosaur, it's something that a dinosaur would have a rumor for you to give, you know?
Yeah, makes sense.
A 22.
Did you hear that Volo's in the city? Crazy, right?
That's actually who I'm looking for. I'm gonna end up giving my money to Waxy to get us supplies, and I'm going looking for our patron because we need more money.
So this one you can get Truffles. So one of the dinosaurs tells you that. So I was out foraging with my owner, and we were punished. We didn't have the paperwork apparently that we needed to be outside of the city walls. Not only do you need to have like an explorer, but they need to have paperwork on hand at all times, or the Flaming Fist. They reference the Flaming Fist. How the dinosaur knows this, it's beyond me. But they reference the Flaming Fist requiring paperwork by anybody traveling within the jungles.
Oh, awesome! Because the Flaming Fist are great guys.
Hashtag love the Flaming Fist. And we get one more rumor roll, I believe.
Yep. Waxy.
Waxy, a 3. That may be a
Truffles
really
was
good
totally
thing.
talking to Banana Candy who gave him that rumor.
All right, what do we get with a 3?
Ooh, this is a good one. This is one that I know semi well.
Juicy.
Bird folk inhabit a monastery that hangs on the side of a plateau many miles up the Oolong River past the Laughing Gorge. The bird folk are holding the last royal heir of Cholt as their prisoner there.
So the monk knows about the monastery. Imagine that.
Right? That's
Right.
so interesting how the monk learns about the monastery with the bird folk, and the rogue learns about the Naga ruins. Awesome. So yeah, the last royal heir of Cholt is a prisoner to these bird folk in a monastery that hangs on the side of a plateau many miles up on the Oolong River, past the Laughing Gorge.
Yeah, that sounds interesting, but not like, historically interesting.
You're like, that sounds like a now problem. I'm more worried about a then problem.
I want to know about the past royals. If you kill him, I'll be way more excited.
Right? Is there a statue of
Does he
him
have
yet,
like
or
an
no?
artifact that proves that he's the heir? Like maybe we'll care about that.
Waxy is probably a lot more excited about what Yina heard than what she heard.
I'm going to. Yeah, is anybody going to keep their information secret from one another, or is anybody going to?
No, I'll definitely.
You'll
tell
definitely
everybody.
be telling. Okay.
Yeah, Truffles is gonna let them know.
That's another thing.
that-
I understand that there are times when people want to keep information secret from other characters within the game. Us as players, because of the fact that we're doing this on stream, we're going to know all the stuff. So if you just play out, if a secret is kept from your character, don't meta it out if possible.
I forgot to mention, guys, Truffles is chaotic evil, so she is not telling anyone about the flaming fist. We're just gonna let that. No.
Oh.
Like we're just gonna see where that goes, and she's gonna slink off while you deal with it.
I
It's
feel
yes, punish them.
Actually secretly a pit fiend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
I'm
Waxy
secretly a
is-
bone devil, but
I feel like Waxy wouldn't tell people, not because she wants to keep it a secret, but just because she doesn't care about
yeah, I
it.
feel like that would be a good, like, you weren't trying to keep a secret. You're just like, I don't want people to get interested in it because I'm not interested in it, and I don't want to do that.
It's
I don't want to.
it's exactly how you put it.
Yeah.
It's a now problem and not a then problem. So I
Exactly.
don't care.
Awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's valid.
But I want to write it down so I remember that when we see some of those landmarks, it might come up.
And also, there's multiple places for you guys to take notes. I put independent rooms for each of you guys in the Discord, and also you can make notes in Roll20 as well. So
You'd be my best friend forever if you could like drop that description in there, because I'm totally gonna forget it.
oh, okay.
Just saying.
Actually, yeah, let me drop those descriptions for each of you in the Discord because that would make a lot of sense.
Sweet.
I just was trying to rate everything by what I heard, and I'm pretty sure I wrote all the names wrong, so that's great. Other than Nangalore, because I think Nangalore is very phonetic. So, but the Queen, no idea.
Yeah,
Don't.
I had to go to the dramatis personae for the name, but it's Zalcore.
Zakore. I think I spelled it right from what I can hear. We'll hope. We can hope and pray.
Oh no, maybe I'm terrible with that. What did a 22 is what we're looking for? This is the one that I'm. Boop boop boop
Mm.
boop 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 boop.
Whoop-a-doop.
And what did you got a 78?
Oh, I
Alright.
was close with her name.
I'm just going to drop your thing. There you go. All right. So you do want to perform, right? You want to spend nights performing?
Yes.
All right. So I'll give you
Yes.
3 perform rolls, each of which will be, depending on how you do, I'll determine a D of gold that you end up receiving from your performance.
All right. Let's do some performance checks. Let's dance the nights
Yep.
away.
You get 3 of them.
All right.
Ooh, god dang.
First. It's almost 321s. It was almost that. It's almost like maybe if she had studied magic instead of just gotten magic, she would have been a bard, but she didn't. So
All right, so you get 12 gold over those 3 nights, which is pretty decent. Does anybody else want to do anything specifically? I know.
Yes. Definitely.
What you looking for, Shadow?
I'm looking for that
You
money.
looking for that money? How you looking
So
for
I'm
that
gonna
money?
give, I'm gonna give all my money to Waxy to pick up the supplies, and then I'm gonna turn around and look for a wealthy benefactor.
All right, so how much money so you guys can actually like erase it off your character sheet and put it onto
40. I made
Okay.
a note and I erased it.
You guys got it? Cool. All right. And you're going to what are you doing? Are you going to like mug somebody? Like what?
Yes. Give me all your. I'm gonna just wait for wealthy people to like walk off the boat and just like punch them in the face.
Just
take their
stab them
money
in the
out.
kidneys and steal their purse. Got it. You're a real great guy.
I'm gonna go to like the upper class like tavern and just like look for people that might be willing to invest in something.
So when you go to this upper class tavern, you see a guy standing in a corner, speaking very verbosely. He's like, "I have come to the land of Chult to donate my knowledge to the people here. I want you all to understand that there are many monsters around all of Faerun, many of which I have captured, I have learned, I have interrogated, I have dissected, I have looked into so deeply that I have confidently composed this book that explains these creatures to use so that if you encounter them, it is much less dangerous. This book, not only will I sell to you today, I will sign the copy myself. So you see and hear this spiel.
So, like, I walk up to him and I'm like, does this book include creatures from Chult?
He like continues trying to sell to people. Like he's like, you just walk up to him and he's surrounded like people. First I'll give a description. He's obviously a mainlander. He is like Baldur's Gate. He has like a big fluffy hat and a ascot, and he's dressed in heavy clothes even though it's 100 degrees in torrential downpour, and he's like very verbose and he's got a big curly mustache, and he's trying to sell a product. He's not really looking to answer questions. Now, if you do something to catch his
I mean, that's kind of the thing, is that I'm asking him about his product. I need more information.
Well,
This is an interactive commercial.
so he responds to you, well, Sir Tabaxi, you see, Chult and Faerun are the same. You would expect that if something was in Chult, it would migrate itself into the mainland. So I would imagine that much the same creatures may be found in either parts.
Maybe we should talk after you're done. I think I might have some insights.
I don't know if I'll have the time. You know who I am, correct? You know you're speaking.
No, I do not. Who are you?
He's like, you wound me. Like, I'm Volathrump. Geedarm? The great explorer.
I kind of like look at the people to the left of me and to the right of me. Like, does anybody else like? Should I know?
Everybody's
this guy?
like, hell yeah, you should know this guy. Like,
Okay. So would I know Vola? Being from.
I don't know. Give me a if you roll under a 10 on a. I don't know what just knowledge history. If you roll under a 10 on a knowledge history, no, you don't. Well, you do know Volo. You may have just now realized that you were speaking to the Volo, but yes, you know Volo.
Oh yes, I have heard of Vola.
You see, the thing is I have not heard of you, and my time is very valuable. Now, please, would you like to buy my book? I'll sign it here for you today.
How much are you selling it for?
That's a really, really good question.
Free with this copy of.
I was gonna say, if he doesn't answer in 10 seconds, that means
no. For you, since you have been so kind to humor me with conversation and not just come and take the book like all these other patrons, 50 gold pieces.
I feel like I could trade the book for some very valuable information, because I have lived here for quite a long time, and I know a lot about the monsters here. And they are very different from the monsters on the main continent of Faerun. Which is why I would like to meet with you. And I give him my best, like,
Give me a persuasion roll.
Persuasion. Nailed it.
Man. I really wanted you to succeed because I had like, here is your side mission, side quest galore. But now it's just like, He's like, I'm sorry, you I'm here for business. If you'll excuse me, and just kind of like turns away from you. Rolling in one hurts.
I wonder if you can guess what this roll's gonna be for, Sean.
What's up? You motherfucker.
Are you trying to swipe the book?
Yoink!
Oh. Will Volo be fooled?
I may not have gotten my persuasion, but I feel like I focus on some things.
Okay, so
I mean, this feels like it's one of those times where you might lose a hand.
so Volo doesn't notice. But what were you stealing?
One word more of
You-
the books. What can I get away with?
Probably not a book. Those things
Yeah,
are
I mean, I
pretty
thought you
big.
were like grabbing at his coin purse or something. You didn't really specify too much.
Are we? Is he still doing
He
crime?
is definitely
He's
he
doing
is
it-
in the midst of crime.
he met-
He has done nothing.
He's in the midst of crime.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you want to steal a book, I'm going to roll a passive perception of the crowd of like damn. You know what? You rolled a 20. I was going to say the crowd would have like a passive perception of like 16, but you rolled a 20. So yeah, you just if you take the book and just immediately leave, you're good. Otherwise, you may get like
Yeah.
suspicion.
I'm gonna take the book and
Okay.
bounce for sure.
Um,
I'm not like hanging around.
interesting thing about the book is it actually has benefits to you. It's not just a pitch in the adventure to get people to buy Volo's Guide to Monsters. It actually has use within the game. So that's a good thing.
Sweet. Where'd you get this book? Oh, don't worry about it.
Guy dropped it. I just picked it up, and here we go.
So pretty much what it
People were
is
throwing them out
with
the
the
dumpster.
book, you do not get statistics of monsters or like their immunities or anything like that, but you get like their flavor text of any monster that's within Volo's Guide to Monsters. As long as you like
Nice.
take an action to look for them in the book, if they're in the book.
right.
So yeah,
That's my job.
that's a
Yeah, I was gonna say that's exactly where the book is going.
that's a
so.
pretty. I mean, it's a pretty cool mechanic. I feel like it may go either under or overappreciated. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
So I just had a horrible idea after you said that. Instead of it being called Volo's Guide to Monsters, it would be Volo's Flavor Guide to Monsters, and Volo now has the Guy Fieri haircut and beard.
Flavor Town is a pocket dimension. We all
Yep.
know this.
Dungeons and
It is his
Dungeons
pocket
and Dragons
dimension.
and diners
Welcome
and
everybody
diamonds
to
and
the
dives.
Dinosaurs Drive-In Dives. Yeah.
We're just gonna join the Battle Chef Brigade. Don't
Hey,
worry about it.
I've been watching a hell of a lot of Guys Grocery Games lately, so let's not knock Guy Fieri.
I love Guy Fieri. I don't care what. anybody
Dude,
says.
he's living his best
leave
life.
it. I leave it on. I leave it on during work, so I've seen quite a bit of diners, drive-ins, and dives. It's
So-
actually really good.
Ender friend,
So we
you're
should
right.
probably
It is
figure
pretty
out-
much a Pokedex of Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes. We should probably figure out
Yeah,
supply,
supply
things.
things.
Because I don't
We'll
know what
figure
everyone
that
else
out
is doing.
before we leave. We have 15 minutes before end of session. I don't mind running over a little bit. Awesome.
Yeah.
The second session will be the adventure session, which is great because I figured we'd be setting the stage the entire first session to begin with. But
I do have a question about supply stuff. Since Shadow just handed me money and it's like, take care of it. I was originally just going to buy myself some more rations and water skins with my own money. But now that I have those funds, I'm going to probably do it a little bit differently. What I want to know is what type of animal might we be able to take with us, like where you would normally have like a pack mule. I feel like a mule is not going to be what we're going to take in the jungle.
You know that
But-
Allosaur that you linked a picture of? Pretty much one of those.
Yeah.
I think that is like the pack animal.
yeah,
Like
how
an
much-
Ankylosaurus, I think it's like 700 gold or some shit.
Yeah, we're not getting that anytime
Oh,
soon.
I'll steal it. It's
But do they
fine.
have any like
Have
small
dinosaurs.
ones? Like,
Well, that's what I'm like. An Allosaur stands like a little bit taller than a human, and although it's bipedal, it kind of serves the same purpose as a mule. I think in this setting.
okay.
What was I gonna say? Can I? Give me 1 second. I want to look at something real quick.
Because mules are like 8 gold. I was just looking it up. Which is something we could totally afford if the pricing was similar.
Yeah.
I want to see what the prices of dinosaurs are. Like how I don't see like I don't see a I don't see a place where you can buy them.
We need to go to like the dinosaur Walmart because we're not exactly like rich here.
We're gonna go to
discount
Al's.
dinosaur lot.
Yeah, the discount dinosaur lot where got the
Bob's Discount Dinos.
Used dino salesman will be selling to us.
may be old, but she's got some years left in her. Bessie's taking me up the river and back 15 times.
Oh man, if
If-
you guys didn't have
Goes
the
the wrong
money to
way.
pay when you lost the races, you would get to fight things literally called leg breakers, which are just thugs. They're just that's what they're called though. Leg breakers. I'm not
They break
there's
your
no
legs.
table with prices for dinosaurs.
Then we can discuss it between now and then, I suppose.
think pack. Okay. Yeah, we can talk about that like pack animals later cuz the dinosaurs replace the like beasts of burden, so it would make sense to have them be available. I
Right.
did want, however, give me 1 second. The thing that I was about to do. Do.
All I know is at some point I want to get my hands on Big Honker and ride him into battle. Charge my T-Rex dinosaur.
Can I get a survival roll from you, Wexy?
Sure.
You would
Yeah,
know that buying
16.
water skins is pointless, and that what you actually want to buy, there is like a collapsible. Yeah, there's like a
catcher.
collapsible rain catcher that can carry like up to 60
Okay.
gallons of water, and all of the drinkable water within the Port Nyanzaru is rainwater anyway, so you'd be catching direct as high quality water as you're going to get here anyway. So a rain catcher
Okay,
would
yeah,
be something
yeah,
you'd
if
buy instead of the water skins. You'd also know that after a little while, rations are gonna start making you cranky people. But that's something you know just from being a person, not from that survival role.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's something we're gonna have to deal with on the
Yeah.
road.
Um,
I think we're planning on supplementing our rations with probably hunting or whatever.
if So there are 3 days, and you are preparing for a trip with somebody who's outside of the party, which I'm guessing you speak to at least 1 or 2 more times before you guys actually hit the road, right? They explained
yeah, sure.
that
Yes.
there will be opportunity for us to take the river, but we will have to traverse multiple days worth of land between one river and another. So it's not just
Mhm.
like you
Right.
take a straight shot down the river and you're where you need to be.
Right.
It's a voyage. She says like if we're going out to Nangalore, it's going to take us like a month to get there and a month to get back. Maybe shorter getting back, but it depends on, circumstances. The jungles are wild. There are things going on we aren't aware of that hopefully we can figure out while we're out there.
It's
Be ready.
It's about what I expected.
Actually,
That's why I'm
I
here.
think there's a thing for the rain catcher. I want to know how much it costs.
Hope so.
I'd love to know how much it costs.
500 gold.
Dang it.
Special items, rain catcher.
This is why we let Waxy do the shopping, because I totally would not have known any of that.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm going to show this to everybody. It is 1 gold piece and weighs 5 pounds. It can
Oh.
Wow.
it can
One gold.
hold up to 8 gallons of water. Yeah, I
8,
thought
oh.
there was like a larger. I think there was like a custom one that somebody used in a stream that I watched before.
Mm.
8's much more reasonable than
Yeah.
8 is
Like-
not enough for 5 people to live off of, though.
I was gonna say we just get a couple.
Isn't it 1 gallon a day
If
for
it's
people?
not 100% humidity and 100 degrees outside, yeah.
Fair. So it's 2 gallons a person.
Yeah, you're going to. I mean, you are going to be rained on quite a lot, but I'm not going to be
Yeah.
super stickler about it. But yeah, I would recommend having 2 gallons of water per person. I'm more concerned about making sure you guys eat once a day. Exhaustion will come into effect if not, and all those
Mhm.
Right.
kind of things.
Mhm.
But with that said,
Yeah.
you guys are in the preparing stages,
Like
so
this.
purchasing the required items to go on your adventures. Unless there are still a few things that you guys want to wrap up, there is that 3-day period where we kind of just like, I don't know, did it as
Buy stuff.
ad hoc, I guess. I don't know if Truffle did
Mhm.
anything. You may find a few interesting mushrooms that they don't have any special value, but they're different than ones that you've seen before. So you may collect samples and like research them and stuff like that.
Heck yeah,
You'll,
tasty mushrooms.
You'll find those along the walls. You may get a few weird stares. You may see kids that want to play with you, or may like, I don't know, like shoot spitballs and stuff like at Yina and Truffle, but I don't know. Yina kind of has that charisma stat to avoid the getting heckled by locals. I don't know about Truffle. I haven't looked at your character sheet for your charisma specifically.
I think her charisma's
Yeah, so you'll.
just
I mean, you're
depends.
not
She's
you're not
pretty-
getting bullied, but you'll get shooby kind of thing.
Mhm. And she is sampling and categorizing every mushroom that's in the city that she can
That's,
get her hands on.
Cool. Great. So with the collecting of survival gear, I guess is the best way to put it.
Did we get the bugs? Did we get
Yeah.
the bug
Let me
repellent?
link those because that.
Yeah, how
So
much
there's a
does
couple
that cost?
forms of it. There's a salve, there's a gourd, and there's a block of incense. The block of incense is probably something you burn over. You burn the incense while you're taking a long rest, pretty much, because it's an 8-hour thing.
Right.
So I'll
Right,
share
right.
this with you guys now.
And
Um,
The mist.
An application lasts for 24 hours, and for 1 gold piece, you get 20 applications. So it's not like it's tons of money, but if you don't have it, it'll be a real big problem. It
Okay.
it like doubles the odds of an encounter kind of problem.
Let's see here.
So if it lasts for 24 hours, we really don't need the block of incense then.
One application protects its wearer against normal insects for 24 hours. The salve is waterproof, so it doesn't wash off in rain. A block of incense sells for 1 silver piece. When lit, it burns for 8 hours and repels normal insects within 20-foot radius centered on it. I could see purposes for it, but yeah, it pretty much is everybody. The problem is it's expensive. You know, like the salve is much more expensive than the incense. The incense is nice, like
Yeah.
Right.
We would need it for every each person would need to have their own.
And if you feel like you're spending a day
Each
at
person- we
camp,
have,
like an
like-
entire day, just like repairing your armor or whatever, like burning incense over the entire day versus reapplying is a better choice, you know. Oh no, it's
Yeah, we could probably buy a couple blocks of it and just bulk up on the
mhm.
gourds as well. 'cause-
And
Yeah, I can do both.
I
No reason not
figure.
to.
I mean, if we get 2 gourds for each of us, that's
we should be good for the
that's-
long haul.
yeah, that's only 10 gold, and that's gonna really protect us for quite
okay.
some time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let me.
Okay, I'll buy up the insect repellent
I'm gonna
then.
create a.
Okay.
Okay. Are you gonna just buy the
I'll buy because it's 10 silver to a gold, so I'll buy up 10 blocks. Because yeah, it'll just be for crucial days, so we'll have 10 good blocks for when we need them, and then I'll buy enough for everyone to have 2
I
gourds.
created a channel in the Discord for the adventuring gear, just so you guys can drop it and keep it like so everybody doesn't have to have all the same stuff. And then like we think we have quadruple what we have since everybody's writing the same thing on their character sheets. Just having it all in one spot that everybody can see it just makes sense.
Yeah. I think like a lot of this like other adventuring gear stuff is like we finalize everything.
Yeah,
off
that would make sense
Yeah.
too. I mean, we're at the end. I don't know if there's anything you guys want to do. I'm not in a rush to close down the stream, but like
particular?
Mhm.
I think we're good.
I generally did the thing I want to do because me talking to people and learning stuff was covered by
Yeah.
all of the roles I did. So
Yeah,
for the most part.
this is good for me too, and if this is where we're normally going to wrap up, we don't need to keep going because now I can start my cleanup
Cool.
process.
Yeah, and
of
it's-
work here.
My plan's kind
I've
of
had all of one person come in today. Thank
And
goodness.
yeah,
for
if you
this
guys
rain.
want to do like a little exit thing, I first and foremost want to say I am so happy that Shadow both critically failed a persuasion roll against Volo and then got a 20 on the sleight of hand to steal the book afterwards.
Just steal it anyway.
Pretty good.
Hey, rolls work out like that. That's the one thing I've learned about D&D and amazes me every time is rolls fall exactly.
just
the way
like,
they're supposed
Get
to.
out of here,
It's-
pleb. I don't care about you thinking monsters are different.
Oh wow.
Well, he
Oh,
rolled a
come
1 on his persuasion.
Damn Volo. Yeah.
But yeah, awesome.
very
Thank you guys so much for playing freaking Dungeons and Dragons with me. It was really fun. I love all of your characters. They're fun. They're great. I like the cohesion that will obviously begin to grow even more and more. And the different aspects you each bring to the table is really cool.
I love Truffles. Truffles is just goddamn adorable.
I'm
Aw, thank you.
I'm thinking of fan art
Truffles
already.
is our mascot.
Truffles get
exactly.
bitten by a
That's the one
dinosaur.
I'm thinking
Or one.
specifically. Just like oh ouchie.
Truffles get bit. There's now going to be a count of Truffles gets bitten by a dinosaur. Just going to start count.
I had a really
Truffles gets bitten by a ...
good. I feel like it's gonna be a thing now. Like
yeah, it's a request to get bit by every.
I feel
animal
like
in-
it's kind of bound to happen.
Truffles get bitten by man-eating plant.
But-
Yeah,
Cool.
I'm gonna put my hand in it.
We'll finalize all the adventuring gear off stream. Nobody needs to see math. Nobody cares about math. But I guess how about we say bye and everybody gets to say, hey, look, follow me on this thing and self-advertise and do all that fun stuff.
Hey everybody, I'm Kelsa. You can find me on the internet on Twitter at Kelsa, Twitch and YouTube. It's Kelsa Delphi. I play role-playing games on the internet. You can find me here, obviously, on Thursday nights playing some Tomb of Annihilation. On Tuesday mornings, I am over on the Greyhawk channel where we are playing Savage Tide. And on my own channel, starting in 2 weeks, on Monday nights, we are going to be playing Mobile Frame Zero Firebrands, Love and Banterville Skyfist Dive. We are playing we're bringing back some love and banter. Phil Asani is joining me again, along with my friend Golan, who is hanging out in chat, and our other friend Lavender. We're going to, you know, love our enemies and betray our friends.
I'm excited
It's gonna be
because
great.
I don't really have anything on Monday, so I'll be able to check that out. Yeah.
Sweet.
I guess we'll
I'm looking
continue
forward
the
to
same
that.
circle. So Shadow.
All right. So you can find me on Twitter at ReeseDragon, on Twitch, twitch.tv/ReeseDragon. And that's pretty much all I have right now. I kind of stream intermittently at the moment. And I am looking into uploading some videos to YouTube soon. So interested in just the entertainment industry in general, movies, D&D stuff, anime. I kind of do all the nerd things. So follow me there.
Nice. Hi, my name is Saint Guard. I'm a variety streamer and sometimes GM of tabletop role-playing games, usually off-stream, but I'll talk about them on stream. I run my own faction turn, which I actually did a couple of weeks ago for a Stars Outnumbered game that I'm doing off stream. So you might see some of that. You might see some GM prep. But most importantly, you can follow me at twitch.tv/SaintGuard and on Twitter at Saint Guardly. That's my username with an LY at the end. I will be streaming again on Saturday. We'll be doing some more Divinity Original Sin 2. So come on over for that.
All right, I guess that's my turn then. Hi, guys. Of course, I am Rindis PWG of Party Wipe Games. You can find any information pertaining to my channels, both Twitter and Twitch, as Party Wipe Games. Tomorrow, you can catch us. I won't be running the game, but my girlfriend Shay will be running a homebrew setting that is part of my homebrew setting that we do on Mondays called Dunes of Diaket. She'll be running that tomorrow night. And then on Saturday, we play a lot of games. Saturday, I'll be running Dungeon of the Mad Mage. And then you can catch us again Monday for my homebrew game, Forest for the Trees, which is as I said, a homebrew setting where elves are actually super evil and the players are a group of humans, elves that don't want to follow the fascist regime that plans to wipe out all the other races. Oh, that's a train.
Train was the bet. It capitalized your whole pitch.
That was the get on with
It's actually
train.
really funny, Rendis, because like every once, like I drop into your stream every chance I get, and like I always end up on that particular show when the weirdest shit is happening. It's just like, what the hell is going on?
Oh
here?
yeah, Forest for the Trees is a weird game. It's gone from just a generic, like they were like, you need to stop running modules and try doing a homebrew for a change, and it was like, okay, I guess I can think of something. So it's evolved from just a mess into this really fucked up plot because people are like, yeah, a lot of people were just like, that human versus elf thing sounds neat, but what if I was an elf that didn't agree with this? And let's see where that goes. And it's like, okay, sure. It's like, but you're all still monsters. And it's like, but yeah, there's wacky stuff that happens all the time, and it's good stuff. And I've rambled enough.
And I guess I'll go now.
Nice.
Hi, it's me, Outro. I'm Sean. I don't care. Call me by my normal human name. I stream. I was doing Resident Evil 2, which I still think is the best game that's come out all year, and I'm a huge Kingdom Hearts fan, and I finished Kingdom Hearts 3, which I loved, but I could talk about that. Don't want to spoil any of that. But I guess I variety stream, but I'm trying to kick off a bunch of tabletop role-playing content, both running, being a part of as a cast member, and also I want to try to help people in doing so from like background stuff. Like I don't maybe hands off like production stuff. So eventually that may come into play. Right now I've been doing a little bit of work of recruiting for a Ravnica game, which we may either do like a Gruul land grab campaign or an Azorius private investigator campaign. So those have been like an interesting conversation. Don't know when or where that'll start, but that's like in the back of my head. I've been focusing on getting.
Not the maid
Oh,
cafe.
God. Well, that
idea
was
you pitched.
that was the result of
The
that was the
Rovnak,
result of
maid
something
cafe.
that happened in Jace Beller and Must Die. But yeah,
Oh, okay. Because it just made me think of the Acquisitions Incorporated. It's just made outfits and just everyone shouting blood
just
as they make you
pouring
drink.
blood on top of the cat girls. Okay, but yeah, you can find me here, which is the channel you're watching. Hi, and on Twitter at outro42. Unfortunately, I couldn't get one or no numbers at all, but I tried. Also, I tried to do this for everybody, but I only did it for Waxy, and I feel bad now, so I'm gonna do it for everybody else. There we go. Everybody's thing is linked in the chat. You get to see it. Thanks for coming by. It was a little rough at first with the little audio issues, but hey, next time we'll be more on point. And hey, we're adventuring next time. It's not just setup anymore.
Heck yeah. And
So you will get that party wipe next time.
You'll get the party wipe next time once we actually get into combat. But
You gotta give us the episodes so that you learn to love these characters, and then when Truffle dies, you can you'll all be heartbroken.
Exactly.
But you have to have one episode.
But they got a small taste of blood in the first episode, so that's what counts.
That is true.
But yeah, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and put the end screen up. I think you can still hear me talking and also the rest of the cast, but thank you guys so much for coming by. It's been super real. I want to thank anybody who, like, I guess, shouted out this stream who's in the audience watching. Thank you for letting your friends know that we were playing. It's been really cool. And we will catch you this time next week. I'll probably stream. Oh crap, this is something I meant to do in my shout out. I'm sorry, I'm going back to the video call screen. Super unorganized. Hey, Yina, Saint Guard, when the hell are we doing Monster Prom?
That's a good question.
Also, that's a 4-player game. Anybody want in on some simul streamed Monster Prom?
Yeah.
We own it. Most of us over at Party Wipe own Monster Prom. So anytime you guys want to do it and you need more players,
schedule, I would be hecka down.
I usually
I'm always down for Monster Prom.
I usually stream from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so I can do that. But if we can get a different time, let me know, because I am very down. I did Monster Prom yesterday. I was checking out the second term DLC. So yes, please.
Yeah. We did that on Valentine's. It was a heck of a fun game. The second term is so good.
Awesome. All right, now we're really gonna go.
So
thanks for coming by, guys.
Bye.